It is the final day of the high school football season. 2 more games to go, and we're going to start with Prescott and Booneville for the 3A state championship. Westmore, Bobby Swafford with you, and it is turned out to be okay. You know, all week we've been watching the weather. We're a little nervous about the lightning and the storms, but I think we're going to be okay. We're going to get these games off. Bobby, when I think 3A football, 2 of the teams I think about, Prescott and Booneville.
You could have asked me on August 1st, October 1st, or December 1st, and I would have said you Booneville and Prescott are going to be playing for a state championship. But to get to this point when the bullseye's on your back all season long, it takes a special group of players. We've seen Booneville in this title game in recent years. We've seen Prescott in this title game in recent years. Never seen them go head-to-head. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these 2 teams handle each other.
Booneville was here last year. They didn't get it done. This year, that's the goal. They want to get it done and go back home with that trophy. Coming up next, we'll take a look at these teams, the keys to the game, the players to watch, and how they got here. We're just getting started. This is the 3A state championship game on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For more than 50 years, Arkansas PBS has been a trusted resource. Our high-quality programs are seen by viewers in every corner of our state, making on-air sponsorship a solid investment. Aligning your business with Arkansas PBS offers a powerful blend of community engagement, corporate philanthropy, and cause marketing, and our viewers remember and appreciate businesses that support our programs. Contact us today for more information on sponsorship opportunities.
You know, I think sports are really big to a lot of people, and because it's an important part of our fabric in our community. And one good thing about what I've seen is it's high-quality production. You know, you think of the small communities all over Arkansas, it's a big deal that they can turn on the TV or DVR or whatever and know they're going to get a quality product. And so I think it just expands the focus of what PBS is doing. You know, Arkansas PBS is doing a great job, and I think it's part of education.
The commitment it takes to be a winner on the field is the same as the commitment Centennial shows its customers. Patience, perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success, both on and off the field. Whether you're cheering on your home team or needing encouragement starting a new business, let Centennial Bank help you make plans for your future. Centennial, for all of life's moments. Member FDIC.
For more than 50 years, Arkansas PBS has been a trusted resource.
Back to War Memorial Stadium. It is the 3A state championship game, Prescott and Booneville. Taking a look at the Prescott side over there, made their way up from South Arkansas. Nice little hour-and-a-half drive to make it to War Memorial. Good crowd for a 3A game. A little bit about Prescott, Bobby.
Take a look at how it's kind of players to watch. And, of course, you got to start on the Prescott side of things with their quarterback, Pierce Yates. He kind of does it all. He's committed to play baseball at the next level. The Curly Wolf going to go play for the KETS up in northwest of Arkansas to be exact. You look at his numbers, it's 2,000 yards on the season, but it's the way he spreads the football. The numbers for his receivers are really well balanced, makes really good decisions, and you can't forget him on the ground. He's a threat in the red zone. He's got 6 touchdowns on the ground.
Let's take a look at how Prescott got here, their trip through the 3A playoffs.
The Curly Wolves came from the bottom half of the bracket. That's why they're wearing the white uniforms today. They're going to start on the right side of your bracket. They had no problems with Palestine Wheatley in the first round. A rematch from a regular season matchup, though. A defensive struggle against the Red Bugs of Fordyce, but they get that 7-6, and then they started to flex the muscles a little bit. 42-13 win over Bismarck, and a shock to a lot of people, the fact that Mansfield was in the semifinals last week, but the Curly Wolves got the job done against a conference opponent for Booneville, and that's how Prescott gets to the title game.
Booneville Bearcats 12-2 on the season. When you talk Booneville, there's one player to talk about. Look, they got a great offensive line and a lot of good players, but the key for Booneville is Dax Goff.
It's all about 34. You know, they run the flex bone. Not a lot of teams in the country run this offense anymore, but they're going to run. It's all about Dax Goff. Almost 2,500 yards and 40 touchdowns on the season. And you ask a lot of people, and Booneville's had a very tradition-rich program. He's the best football player to ever walk through the halls of Booneville. 5,700 yards in his career, creeping up on 85 touchdowns on the ground. It all starts with Dax Goff. If they can't stop him on the ground, talking about the Prescott defense, it's going to be a long day. today.
Those are insane numbers.
They are.
84 career touchdowns, 40 touchdowns this year. Here's how Booneville got to the state championship game.
Yeah, the Bearcats won the conference from the 3A1. They started against a victory against Drew Central, then they hammered Osceola. That was a rematch from a championship game just a few years ago, and this was the game a lot of people didn't know necessarily about. They hammered Harmony Grove 44-16 in the first real test probably since the non-conference season, maybe Charleston in the regular season. They handled Glen Rose 34-25 last week, and the Bearcats and Curly Wolves about to score off here at War Memorial.
The teams are getting ready to enter the field. The captains are at midfield getting ready for the coin toss. Let's go down to the field and check in with the third member of our crew, Tyler Cass.
Yeah, guys, I was all ready for, the torrential downpour here. I got my raincoat, my umbrella, all that tucked away on the sideline. Now I got my sleeves rolled up. It's a little cool, but crisp, nice, perfect football weather for the final day of the football season. And you guys have been talking about it. Two teams that know how to come to War Memorial. They've been here before, but are hungry. And you can tell from these fan bases, both fired up down here. It's the last two runner-ups from the 3A state title game. Now, now one of them gets to take home the trophy this year.
Prescott has won the coin toss, it appears, and they're going to defer and decide. No, it was Booneville that won the coin toss. They deferred, so Prescott will receive the ball when we get things started. All right, let's talk about Prescott a little bit more in depth, Bobby. Is it as simple as stopping Dax Goff for them on defense?
It actually takes a step further. They've got to stop the fullback because that's going to be option number one for Booneville in the option attack, and that's Rylan Ray. He's the 5th or 6th member of the Ray family to run for 1,000 yards in his career at Booneville. He's number 33, so Prescott's defense has to stop the run up the middle first. And then number 2, offensively, Prescott has to stay patient because Booneville has shown time and time again, especially when they get to the championship game, they're going to drop everybody deep in secondary and say, hey, if you're going to beat us in the passing game, you got to beat us underneath. Got to stay patient. Can't force anything down the field. If Prescott can do that, maybe they can have some success.
The ball a little bit. If they're going to drop everybody back a little bit, then Prescott, they've got a 1,000-yard rusher in Janoris Harris. 15 touchdowns on the year, so maybe establish that running game as the Curly Wolves make it out onto the field of War Memorial Stadium. All right, let's move over to Booneville. Their keys to the game.
I mentioned it once. I mean, it's pound the rock. I mean, it doesn't matter if Prescott gets a stop or two early. They're not going to change what they do. This is a Booneville team that has probably thrown it more than any team in history. They still want to run the football. You got to stop option 1, 2, and 3 initially. Booneville's just going to lean against it. And number 2 on the defensive side for the Bearcats, the guys wearing purple today. It's just like keep it in front. Just make sure you don't give up the big play. Don't let turnovers turn into huge opportunities for the Curly Wolves on the other side. Keep it in front, make them mount drives, because you saw the bracket. Booneville's defense is one of the best that Prescott's going to see all season long because of points allowed.
You talk about defenses. Prescott's got a really good defense, 11.2 points per game. Booneville's defense, very good too, 18.1 points per game. I got to think with Booneville's offense, though, they cannot afford to fall behind, 14, 17, 21 points. And look, they can throw it better than they have in the past, but is that what they want to do?
Yeah.
They would rather, run the ball at you all day long.
Well, they want to do what's going on where Dax Goff is going to go to college. It's happening this afternoon is Harding Academy. They want to run the football, play from ahead, and make a team get out of their comfort zone. And because if you start to press it and try to throw the ball downfield, you're playing into Booneville's hands, and maybe they throw an interception. So Booneville, of course, wants to play from ahead.
As we mentioned earlier, it appears the strongest thunderstorms have moved on. They're going to be to our south and east, so we're getting to kick this game off at 12 o'clock with no issues, 61 degrees. The only thing I can say that the weather might affect this game is the wind. You take a look at the flags. They are blowing very hard. So we got a good wind right now. We got the kickoff. They kick it with the wind, and that ball lands around the 5-yard line, and Prescott takes it close to the 20-yard line. That's where they'll start their first game. I think you can see, even right there on that kickoff, that ball riding the wind all the way down close to the end zone.
Yeah, blowing from our left to our right. And this is the feeling out process. Wes, you and I have had the luxury of calling these championship games the last 5 or 6 years here on Arkansas PBS. That first drive or two of the game, that feeling out process. You may start to see some different things, some new wrinkles that teams haven't run all year. Got to limit the miscommunication and the miscues to go out there and play football.
Prescott will be driving into the wind. We'll see if that affects the throws of Pierce Yates. Janoris Harris, the tailback, right next to him. Harris is going to get the first carry, but we've got our first flag of the day. Little motion there from Prescott. Man, that could be the nerves
False
we were
start.
just talking about right there.
Offense.
A little antsy to get that first play.
First down.
Yeah, you've been thinking about this play really since last Friday night. Like, okay, what are we going to do the first play? Got to get off the ball. Got to give it all you got. And just flinched, and now Prescott's got to start their first drive behind the chains.
We'll try it again. 1st and 15. Yates. Looks like they just ran the same play anyway. Same formation. Didn't fool Booneville. No gain, not much of a gain, maybe a yard.
A great job by Damari Poole, number 30 for Booneville, crashes from his defensive end spot and shuts that one down at the line of scrimmage.
We talked about Dax Goff on offense, but Dax Goff is also their leading tackler on defense. 34. Just keep an eye on 34 all day.
I believe they call that a dude.
That's why that dude is going to play college football.
Speaking of him, makes the play right in the hole. Did a great job of reading the option read from the Prescott offense. Holds that to about a gain of 1, and now it's 3rd and long for Prescott. And this is what Booneville wants. They're going to be able to drop everybody back, likely go cover 4, keep everything underneath. And then obviously, it's not a very advantageous situation if you're the Curly Wolves on your opening drive of the game.
Oh, this is not what you wanted. This is not what the offensive coordinator was thinking all week on that first drive, 3rd and 13.
You don't chart it to be that far behind the chains.
Yates all alone in the backfield. Looking downfield under pressure now. He has a receiver open, but he's going to be short of the first down. The underthrew it just a hair because he was under pressure, and the receiver had to go down, Spencer Hubbard, to his knees to make that catch, and so he's going to be a couple yards short of the first down.
Yeah, that's a great job, though, by Yates to extend the play, rolls to his left, and Booneville, who was dropping back in coverage, one of the players comes up to make a play on Yates, and that leaves the receiver wide open, and now it's decision time for the Curly Wolves.
What are we doing here? Looks like their offense is still on the field. You can always drop the quarterback back and do a quick kick. Go for it. They didn't get it. Did not get it. Booneville holds.
Prescott tried to override the right side of the line of scrimmage. They have a fullback right behind the offensive line, and they try to go 2 lead blockers, but didn't get the backside blocked again. 30 crashing in. Poole from the left side. He makes the play in the backfield, and the Bearcats have a short field on their first drive.
Poole just came from that backside. Was able to chase down the quarterback, make the tackle. Roll of the dice here early in this game. It shows a little bit of aggressiveness from Prescott, but I think it also sends a message about their defense. Yeah. Guys,
when you're only giving up 11 a game, you can make risks like that, no question.
And I'm sure this is not the first time they've been put in this situation, so they'll see what they can respond. Washburn ready to go, and like you called it, Bobby, they're going to try that fullback first.
Got to test the fullback, test the waters up the middle. You see the no one over the center for Prescott, so they're asking their linebackers or their D linemen to converge at the snap of the football, and if they don't, if they give up 3 or 4 yards to carry to the fullback, Booneville's just going to keep handing it off to 33.
Washburn completing about 62% of his passes, 7 touchdowns on the year, but mainly a running offense. Ray again, but we got a penalty flag.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Let's take a look at our crew today. Fine crew. We'll be taking care of our game this afternoon. Bob Price, the referee, your umpire. Jason Benson, linesman. Josh Myers. John Sampson is the line judge, back judge. It's Cale Petrie, and your center is Nathan Jowers.
That's the one thing Booneville can't afford to do is get behind the chains, self-inflicted wounds. Prescott saw that with a 4 and out. Now Booneville's now backed up because of the penalty.
2nd and 12, stack formation. Goff's first carry of the day. Goff breaking the tackle, spinning, 20. He's at the 10. Goff, touchdown, Booneville.
You think he might have the big man wrapped up, but he's too big, too strong to make arm tackles. You've got to get bodies around him. And now what an outstanding spin move from the future Harding Bison running back. He spins out of it, and the Bearcats strike first.
2 arm tackles, Bobby.
Right.
You can't tackle him. They're trying the arms.
They're trying to tackle the football, get his hands on it, and you got to get him to the ground. You can't worry about going after the football because if you don't get around the legs at 34, that's going to be what you're seeing, nothing but tail lights.
Bad snap. Holder rolling out, looking for somebody, anybody. Incomplete, so it'll be 6-0 after the poor snap. Extra point is no good. perfect start for Booneville. They couldn't have scripted it any better. A 4 and out, and then a touchdown. You're watching the Centennial Bank Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
We all know the best ways to take care of our teeth, like brushing twice a day and flossing once a day. But there's another small thing you can do that protects your teeth in a big way. If you or your child is involved in contact sports, wearing a mouth guard is important to protect teeth. Mouth guards cover teeth and gums to prevent and reduce injury to teeth, lips, and gums. There are several varieties of mouth guards, so you can find one that is affordable and easy to use. A mouth guard should fit properly, be durable and easy to clean, and not restrict speech or breathing. Talk with your dentist about which mouth guard is best for you or your child's needs. At Delta Dental of Arkansas, we're proud to be the champions of your smile. For more helpful oral health tips and information, visit www.deltadentalar.com.
Sanderson is the finest seaside resort on the whole coast.
I should very much like to see it, sir.
It's Tom's brother, Sydney.
Miss Hayward.
What is your opinion of him? Never met anyone quite so confounding.
Everybody is waiting so they can have my money.
You have no idea what I'm prepared to do.
Should not a good marriage be based on mutual love and affection?
Oh, not that again.
Just be careful.
Careful of what, Papa?
Everything.
Sanditon, available now with PBS Passport.
At Wendy's, we're focused on what matters. That's why we've made our hamburgers square. If you want to experience the delicious taste of Wendy's hamburgers, square's the beef.
Back at War Memorial Stadium, it's the 3A state championship game. Booneville jumps out to a quick 6-0 lead. Now, Bobby, a lot of people in Central Arkansas watching this. I mean, we got a team from South Arkansas, a team, you know, from the River Valley out in western Arkansas. Not a whole lot of connections, but I would tell you, if you're just sitting here wondering about this game, Dax Goff, he is worth watching. You think about his career, what all he's done in his football career. We told you he's the leading rusher, the leading tackler on defense, going to Harding. This is his final game.
Yeah.
You know, you think about a guy that's meant so much to a program, final game of your career at War Memorial Stadium, trying to win a state championship.
Yeah. And then you add the fact that they lost here last year to one of their biggest rivals in Charleston. Coach Doc Crowley said that they were embarrassed. And then they spent all offseason thinking about how they got embarrassed in the championship game and how they wanted to bounce back. And he's the leader off the field. He's the leader on the field. He's the first guy in that weight room, you know, pumping the iron, trying to get this team back. And it's evident every time he gets his hands on the football.
Yates with the pitch to Harris. And Harris has room to run, and Prescott has their first down of the game.
Yeah, great job by the Prescott receivers cracking back. They seal off Goff, the middle linebacker, and get some space on the outside and maybe a little momentum builder there. Move the chains, get the drive going.
It's also a chance, that second drive, you work through those nerves. You watch Booneville score, and hopefully that fired up their offense over there and got them a little upset and mad.
Gotta wake up.
Yeah, well, they're here for a reason. You know, they're not going to just roll over and die. Up the middle, a lot of room to run, across midfield to the 30. Brought down finally inside the 30. Back-to-back big runs from Harris.
Yeah, Harris right up the middle, so you get the defense thinking outside, you hit him right up the gut there, and Harris has got speed to burn. Booneville does a nice job tracking him down, but not before he's inside the 30.
Early Wolves go. They're in a hurry. They want to get something done here. Yates keeps it. Yates picks up 2.
It's a great job by the interior part of the offensive line on the previous play for Prescott, because all you need to see when you've got a home run hitter like Harris, he's got well over 1,000 yards on the season, is give him a crease and he'll do the rest.
Yates back to work, quick pass out in the flat. Can't break that tackle. Is Dwayne White. White's their leading receiver, 50 catches, 904 yards on the season. He's looking to get over 1,000 with 96 yards today.
4 down territory here for Prescott. They've got 2 downs to pick up these 6 yards, maybe even 7.
Yates with Harris to his right. Fakes the snap. Fakes the call for the snap. Yates looking to pass. Across the middle, has a receiver there, but it's picked off. Just picked off. I thought he had his man open. Booneville with their second big play defensively.
That's the quarterback of the offense making plays on defense. Jace Washburn, pre-snap, that looks like it's man-to-man across the board. Right before the snap, though, those guys drop back. Washburn just feels the middle of the field. Quarterback never saw him. And playing center field, Washburn makes the pick and another big play for the Bearcats.
I think Washburn came off of his man and just with a heads up, seeing where the ball was.
They're trying for the post on that far side, and he just kind of cut underneath, and the quarterback never saw him.
I wonder if the receiver ran the wrong route.
There's two receivers in that area.
Yes. Booneville back on offense, up the middle. Good push from the offensive line. There wasn't a whole lot there, but they still picked up 3.
Ray creeping up on 1,000 yards. So it's not just a fullback as window dressing. He also missed 4 games this year, which is they make those numbers even more impressive. You're talking about 900 yards and about 9 games of actual game time.
You know, in Goff's numbers, they average a ton of yards between the 2 of them per game. Washburn up the middle, but we had a little movement, flag down.
He didn't get the snap when he wanted it, and everybody's moving up the center.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Just nerves of it, Wes. Even though we are in the second drive now here for Booneville, 4 minutes into this championship game, it takes a while to settle in. You know, you and I take it for granted because we've been to some of these championship games across the different sports, but there's a lot of emotion flowing through these 16 to 18-year-olds on the field.
2nd and 12. Check with me for the first time at Booneville. See Ray right there behind the quarterback. Looked at his wristband, got the play, told him what he was doing. He hands it. He kept it. Faked the pitch or faked the handoff to Ray, and Washburn kept it, and he was buried in the backfield.
There's nowhere to go. You're thinking, okay, fullback's not there. I'm going to go one-on-one with the defensive end, but the defensive end kind of took away the pitch lane and the quarterback, and he swallowed up from behind.
Marshawn Rafter is the defensive end you were talking about. Then the other defensive end, Jamarian Burton, was the one who came in and made the tackle while he was trying to figure out what am I going to do here.
Yeah, 2 and 7 are going to be responsible for the quarterback all game.
3rd and 15. They'll just go right up the middle, pick up about 6, but I'll bring up 4th and 9, so Prescott's defense does their job.
That's where the false start's so important right there against the Booneville offense, because if you take that away, you're sitting at 4th and 4. Maybe you go to a different play call there. Now you're just trying to get out of punting from your own end zone, even though they're going to set it up about 2 yards deep.
Something different for 3A football. They substitute about an entire special teams unit. So many times you just see the offense basically stay out there, and they must have ran on about 8 guys for the punt. Good snap, puts away. It's a low wobbler. Prescott should get great field position, and they do. Ball bounces out of bounds at the 32-yard line, so the interception's not too costly for Prescott.
It was 22 yards of field position there, gained by the punt. And now if you're Prescott, you got to start to figure out, okay, what's Booneville doing in the passing game? That's the first time they drop back to throw one deep, and you see the coverage. Now you've got to make the adjustment. Just don't make the big risk when you don't have to.
Well, I love the way they were running the ball in that drive.
Absolutely.
And they may have, run it, think, oh, we can get them right here with the pass. I look for them to maybe establish the run again.
Going first down.
Harris with it. Harris is brought down. No gain on the play.
Hunter Warren, sophomore linebacker, makes the play for Booneville.
Second leading tackler.
They're going to have to do something with Damari Poole at defensive end. He's there in the backfield again on that play.
Twice, yep. Good point.
But so many times you don't expect that defensive end at the high school level to be able to read and react and crash the ball so hard from the edge, but they're going to have to find a way to block 30.
Empty backfield. Put Harris in the slot. Look for the quick pass, but that's a designed quarterback keeper. Nothing there. He got a yard.
Swallowed up Dylan Todd, the junior linebacker. Read that one perfectly. He's lined up on the outside of the tackle, but recognized quarterback draw at the empty backfield, and he makes the play.
They had numbers. They had numbers here, but you just see right there the Prescott offensive tackle just missed the block. That was a well-designed play. You had 5 on 5, and that should have been a big play. Just did not execute it. Sometimes fans talk about what kind of play call was that? Well, it was a great play call. They just didn't execute.
Right. You got to get a hat on a hat. You've got even numbers.
Harris with it. Harris cuts it back in the middle. He'll pick up a couple, but they're going to have 4th and probably about 6. Prescott just not clicking offensively again. This is similar to their first drive.
They popped the big one up the middle, but they really haven't had a whole lot going north and south against this Booneville front. They've only got 3 down linemen. They're walking up an outside linebacker, so a traditional 3-4 look here.
Yates the pass on 4th down. He's going deep across the middle. Has a receiver there, but it's knocked down. It was once again, I guess that safety's coming across in zone to knock it down.
It's almost like that cover 1 look where they're kind of having a robber right in the middle of the field. Just let him read the quarterback's eyes. And that time it's 21. Todd, the linebacker, drops back. This reads Pierce, knocks that one away and forces the turnover on downs.
Yeah, Bobby, from up here, I was ready to call the touchdown because the receiver was open. He beat his man, looked like the pass was pretty good, and Todd comes out of nowhere, knocks it down.
That's twice now that if you lay it out in front, it's a touchdown. Got to wonder if the wind's affecting that or if the arm strength's not there early in this contest. Got to get loosened up.
Booneville back on the field for the 3rd time. 1 touchdown, 1 punt. And that one to Goff. Goff's 2nd carry of the day, getting about 6.
Just the power eye. So they get out of the flexible, and that's the same formation they scored the touchdown on earlier. Sometimes you just got to find different ways to get the football to your workhorse.
2nd and 5. Booneville looking over at the sideline. Halfway gone in this first quarter. Goff over the right side, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, fighting forward, flag is down. Looks like Goff has a 1st down, but we'll have to see what this flag is.
Yeah, flag came out late. You wonder if it's maybe a legal formation just based on where it's thrown.
Came from the Prescott side of the field. I'm sure the coaches were pointing that out to the referee over there, helping him make that call.
Coaches would never do that, would they?
Oh, yeah. It's just reinforcement. Still talking about it. Do have a player down, but he's up. And looks like he's okay. That's what they were waiting on, was to get the player up and off the field.
Tayshawn Smith, senior linebacker for the Curly Wolves.
They're leading tacklers. That could be a big loss. He's limping off. He had 103 tackles on the season.
Dead ball. Sideline warning. Prescott. Result plays a 1st down.
I was completely wrong on that.
Yeah. Well, just the way that as early as the flag came out, you knew it had to be something formational or something on the sideline, and too far into the white. Got to back her up.
Three tackles I just counted. 3 missed tackles or 3 broken tackles for Dax Goff in that play.
Yeah, yards after contact is a stat that Booneville loves.
Full back up the middle, and he's got room to run. Rylan Ray gets dragged down. Last man tackles him where Ray scores on the touchdown.
J.K. Jones saved the touchdown there because he broke that initial wave, and Ray's got enough speed. He would have house called that one. But Jones does a nice job of hauling him down with the Bearcats already back on the Prescott side of the 50.
It's great blocking. Fantastic. He wasn't touched until J.K. Jones brought him down. 1st and 10, ball in the 43. Give it to him again. Positive yards for Booneville. Getting that running game going, picked up about 4. Let's go down to Tyler Cass. What do you got, Tyler?
Yeah, guys, actually 2 injuries on the defensive side for Prescott. After that first possession, defensive lineman Colton Arnold had to be helped off the field. His pads are off, and he's on crutches on the sideline, kind of being consoled by his teammates. So that's already 1 blow for the Curly Wolves defense, and you just saw the player being helped off. He's being worked on the table now. As soon as I get an update on him for you, that's Tayshawn Smith in the defense. I'll let you know.
Ray running hard, picking up the 1st down, gets it down to the 22, close to the red zone for Booneville.
You got to have a different attitude when you're going to go against an offense like this. It's hammer versus anvil. We're just going to keep pounding, and you got to bring your lunch pail if you're going to play against Booneville. You can already see they're getting banged up on that far sideline. Missed tackles, though, has been key in this first quarter. That's why Booneville's knocking on the door of the red zone.
I'm sure that's what they're preaching. Guys, we're there. We just have to make the tackle. Goff with it, heads to the outside, gets tripped up before he can get going. No gain on the play.
Rashid Muhammad's not going to get credited for the tackle, but he almost took the handoff from Washburn, the quarterback. He was in the backfield that quickly from his defensive tackle spot, forced the run to bounce out a little bit farther than Booneville would have liked, holds it to a gain of 1.
He got tripped up. Couldn't really tell who he tripped over. May have been his own offensive lineman's feet. He was starting to break to the outside and had a little room to run. Goff is the deep back. Ray is right there behind the quarterback. Goff with it. He's met the line of scrimmage, breaks that tackle, spins, falls forward, gets the ball inside the red zone to the 19.
This is nothing fancy from Booneville. They're overloading right with 2 tight ends and a kind of a wing back, and they're just going to lead to the left side, the weak side of the defense, because if he breaks a tackle there, it's nothing but wide open spaces. Great job by Prescott to converge and hold that to a minimal gain, and now it's 3rd and 6.
Booneville on the door, knocking at the door, trying to get back into the end zone, up 6-0. That running game established. Handed to Ray right up the middle, close to the first down. Maybe just a hair short.
This is what I mentioned in the open, Wes, is Booneville's not going to force it. If you don't stop the fullback, they're going to give it to him every time. And we haven't seen Booneville try to get out to the outside with the option pitch it just yet. And why, when you can pick up 4 or 5 yards every time you hand it to the fullback? And you got to believe this is calling for Rylan Ray right up the middle as well.
4th and 1. Prescott needs a big stop here. Looks like they're loading the middle. Doesn't matter. First down.
Great job by the right side of the offensive line, just cave things down. That one hits a little bit wider because that's where the flow of the defense was going. Everybody converging down, you just wash it down. He hits that out to the B hole instead of the A gap. And it's a first down for the Bearcats, and now it's 1st and goal.
It was a great job of the offensive line. They saw Prescott bringing the pressure up the middle. They were thinking, well, they've been running it right here the last couple of plays. We're going to stop them right here. And just went over the right side. 1st and goal from the 8. Goff up the middle. Got flags down.
There's a flag on the field. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Instead of 1st and goal from the 8, that'll push them back to the 13-yard line. 1st and goal from the 13.
That's not the penalty, but this is where it's so important to have experience at that fullback position like Ray, because a younger player would just run that straight ahead. Okay, this play's designed to go in the A-gap. I'm going to the A-gap no matter what's there. He was patient enough to realize, okay, things are going to wash down. Doesn't go full throttle right off the snap. Can find the hole, gets the first down. Booneville's going to take this one to the quarter.
That's going to do it. All Booneville in the first quarter, and they're looking to add to it when we start the second quarter. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Looks like we have some new help in the marketing department.
Action! Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. I think you need to work on your line better. How about you do it? Family owned, customer friendly. Family owned, no friendly. Come see us at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at Alcoa exit. Buckle up, everybody!
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Give your family a once-in-a-lifetime experience at the Little Rock Zoo, at Arkansas's largest lantern festival. Glow wild at the Little Rock Zoo. After dark, bring your family to a radiant wonderland where imagination sparks. Discover 40 new lighted mystical creatures and returning favorites at Glow Wild, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing a healthcare partner rooted in your community. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Let our family care for yours.
Vaping addicts you to nicotine and can prematurely age your lungs to those of a 70-year-old. Don't get lost in the fog. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org.
Southern Loft is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS. It is our mission to tell your story by adding color with our furniture. And that's why Southern Loft is a different kind of furniture store. For more information, go to mysouthernloft.com.
Give a little love to Jake Jones from Hoxie. He is the Arkansas PBS Student All-Star. Tight end, defensive end. I love the fact he wants to be a coach. Jake Jones, Arkansas PBS Student All-Star. Westmore, Bobby Swafford with you. Starting the second quarter, Booneville leading 6-0. Here's how they got on the board. The all spinning run from Dax Goff, 31 yards. The extra point attempt was no good after a bad snap. It was 6-0. Prescott trying to get back on the board at the beginning of that play, but they were picked off there. I was on Twitter, Bobby, during the break. Two things to pass along. Up in Searcy, Harding leads Lenore Ryan 34-7 at the half. I got a feeling the Bison are going to the national championship.
Day for football based in Searcy, Arkansas. Harding Academy playing for a 4A championship tonight. Dax Goff, the Booneville running back, committed to play at Harding. His team's about to go play for a national championship, and he's hoping to finish off his high school career with the state championship here today.
First and 13. It's actually first and goal from the 13. Goff with it over to the right side, bouncing it outside to the 10. 5. Goff with his second touchdown of the day.
Impatience there. A flag came out late. I wonder if they're going to get a block in the back. At the point of the attack there on the outside, looked like the receiver might have gotten the hands inside the numbers behind the defensive back from Prescott, but we'll have to wait and see if this one stands. The Prescott coaches were way out on the field screaming for that call.
The way Goff's shoulders just dropped right there, I think he heard what that was. Here's a look at it. Goff coming around the end. Gets to the outside here. Maybe the blocking question on number 1.
It's out here.
Right there on
7, blocking 14. You're exactly right. We'll have to wait and see what the call is, though.
Going over to the Prescott bench right now to talk to coach about it. He doesn't look happy. I wonder if they're picking this up.
Yeah.
Here's the call.
We got a dead ball, personal foul on purple. Touchdown's good. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So it's something that happened after the play. So no block in the back. Touchdown for Dax Goff, number 2 of the day. But more importantly, the Bearcats have a 12-0 lead.
Looks like they're going to go for 2, or at least they're lining up to chase those points.
Swing and gate action.
Goff's down here at the bottom of the screen, behind all those offensive linemen. Here he comes. They're going to snap it to him.
That's different.
They may not try that one.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to get creative. Sometimes you get too creative.
It's kind of like a comedian. Sometimes the joke works.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't land. I'm sitting here looking at that. I was like, okay, I see the quarterback's out slotted to the right. There's nobody back there, and it takes away the element of surprise when you've got no one in the backfield to snap the ball to.
Sometimes when you got Goff, you don't need to surprise them.
It's very true. Hey, but give Prescott a little credit there. They had guys in position to make the play.
Yeah, a little pick-me-up. I'm still lost on the personal foul penalty.
Yeah.
I guess he said it happened after the play. You couldn't see anything right there. But the other tweet I wanted to pass along to everybody, and this is great news from meteorologist Todd Jacobian. We should be good for the remainder of the day in the metro area. All severe weather and rain is to our southeast. Let's play football and not worry about any lightning delays.
Love it. Love it for the midfield logo as well. We got washed away last week for games before any of the Friday games were played.
That was the 8-man. It was a
brutal.
Oof. I was watching that at the TV station on Arkansas PBS Sports. Thank you guys. Great job. And that was one of those, I'm glad I'm sitting here watching this one on TV and not there. Booneville with their kickoff. Be fielded right around the 30. Prescott, good field position once again across the 40 to the 45. That's where he slung down. A late play. Oh, no, it was a towel that went flying late.
That's where the personal foul after the touchdown comes into give Prescott a little pick-me-up, and they're going to have great field position, their own 45 to start this third drive for the Curly Wolf offense.
Now, if you're on that huddle right now on that side, that Prescott offense, now's the time. We got to go. Let's go. It's 12-0. No panic because of their offense. They can score. They can score quickly. They're not out of it, but you need to get that momentum back. And you'd also like to be on the field for a little bit and slow down this Booneville offense. So pitch to Harris, coming right side, and chased down by Dax Goff. Tell you what, Goff's a little speed right there too, because Harris had it running to the outside. He had room to run. I thought, okay, here's the big play that Prescott needs.
Yeah, when they had success on the toss play earlier on their second drive, they were able to crack back and seal off 34. That time, he sheds off a would-be blocker and makes the play for just a gain of 2.
A little speed there. Got past that offensive lineman. Offensive lineman couldn't get to him to make that block. Picked up 2 on the play. Looking to throw, but the ball's loose. That's a fumble. Prescott, a chase for it to recover it, and they do, but just a disastrous play. PJ goalie recovers that for Prescott. It could have been just really bad.
Prescott was trying to get something going with the play-action pass. As soon as Pierce looks up, there's somebody right in his face, and Yates puts the ball on the ground. Again, he tries to get the quick pass there, and guess who? Number 30 just continues to make plays. Poole in the backfield, and now it's third and break out your abacus.
Mari Poole have a game. And it's early in the second quarter. That's the third big play he has made.
Third and 33 according to the scoreboard. I can't add that quick.
They got to get to the other 45, and they're on the 22. Quick pass out to White. White gets across the 30. Steps out of bounds. Had some room to run, but steps out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Picks up 13 on the play. Like you said, Bobby, they still got a long way to go. They got 20 to go.
So obviously punting situation here, and this is what you couldn't afford if you're Prescott. You get great field position after the punt, the penalty, and the solid kickoff return, and now you've got a punt to Dax Goff, who's back standing about his own 25-yard line, who's returned a couple kicks for a touchdown this year too.
He's done it all. Kickoff return, punt return, of course running for touchdowns. We'd love to have a punt return touchdown in the state championship game. Good snap, punts off. To the left of Goff. He's trying to chase it down, but it's going to roll out of bounds. That's a smart punt.
It is.
I'm sure he was instructed to kick it away from Goff.
Just like that, though, the momentum swings back and forth. You think Prescott's going to be able to get something going. You have a positive play on the first down. Get the big fumble. Now you punt away, and now Booneville has solid field position at their own 36 of a drive that started at the Prescott 45.
As I mentioned earlier, Prescott's defense on the season has given up just 11.2 points per game. They've already given up 12 in the first quarter in a minute and a half. It's time for the defense to bow up now.
Way too early to say this is a must-have drive, but maybe we'd really like to have this drive if you're the Prescott defense.
Hey, we're rolling. Let's go. Let's go get us another one. Right up the middle. Breaking tackles, falling forward. Gain of 7. Highland Ray again.
Body blow after body blow until you prove that you're going to stop 33 on a consistent basis of not picking up 6 or 7. I know you're going to get tired of hearing me say it, but until they do it, they're going to continue to just hand the ball off. What they're wanting, though, is that one time the defensive end crashes too quickly. All of a sudden, you bounce it out, and you've got one-on-one with the corner with Goff, and that's a battle that Booneville's going to win more times than not.
Ray again. This time he's tackled short of the first down. They get the ball to the 45. They need 1 more yard for the first down.
It's third down.
Ray in the first quarter, 8 carries, 62 yards. Didn't lose any yards. Goff just 5 carries, 45 yards, 9 a carry.
Move Goff to fullback here.
Goff with it. He's fighting forward. He may have fought forward for the first down. I thought they had him stopped short. And the strength of Dax Goff may have the first down. He does have the first down.
He shut down at the line of scrimmage, maybe a touch behind it, but just the physicality of the Booneville running game, able to force himself forward for that extra yard. Again, they move the chains. 6th first down for the Bearcats.
That's the other thing with this Booneville offense. When they get clicking, that clock starts clicking,
right,
and ticking, and ticking. Next thing you know, it's almost halftime. Up the middle, breaking tackles, cross midfield. to the 49, to the 48. It's a gain of 6 on first down.
May have to talk to Troy Mitchell, who's done a great job with the stats for us the last 2 weeks, if they keep up with yards after contact. Because it's going to be maybe in the triple digits. Because Prescott's there to make a play, almost on every handoff, but his arm tackles, and allows Booneville to get 2, 3, 4 extra yards per snap.
Clock under 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Rays in the backfield. Going to pitch it out. Across the 45. Got the first down. That's what you're talking about, Bobby. They're just pounding away right up the middle. All of a sudden they change it up, come to the outside.
This time we've got to call the name of Connor Lentz. He takes the pitch and picks up a Booneville first down, and they're on the Prescott side of the 50.
Ball at the 43-yard line. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Up the middle that time, good tackle. Prescott, you saw Talon Smith come crashing in. He's their leading tackler, 157 tackles on the season.
It's a great play there. That's one of the few times we can say Prescott won on first down. They've got to have that. They've got to shut it down inside, try to force Booneville into those 2nd and 8s, 3rd and 7 situations.
2nd and 8. They did another good job. That's back-to-back good plays from this defense.
There's so much about fundamental football when you're facing an option attack like this. Just one player out of his gap misses an assignment, and that's when the big plays happen. So really good plays back-to-back there for Prescott.
3rd down and 9. I think, is this the first 3rd and long we've had for Booneville today?
They had the one punt, and that was, other than that, that's
yeah, you're right.
And that was because of a penalty. So this is really first time Prescott's defenses have stiffened up.
Goff goes in motion. They're going to pitch it to Goff. Goff met in the backfield. Ball's loose. Ball's loose. Prescott's got it. Going the other way with it. At the 20. The 10. Touchdown Prescott. The defense comes up with a huge play. Levante Gleason. Scoop and score.
They needed that huge play, Wes. We're talking about how great of a job on back-to-back plays Prescott had there. And then Booneville and Goff just trying to fight for the extra yardage. Got a hand on the football, knocked it free, and Gleason does the rest. The defensive house call.
Talk about a game changer. Booneville's driving to try to take a 3-possession lead. Next thing you know, ball's loose, and Prescott's on the scoreboard.
He needed a shot in the arm, did the Curly Wolves, and their defense gave it to him.
Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. Kick is good. 12-7, just like that. Prescott on the board because of the defense. Ball comes loose. There's Gleason. Gleason is gone. You're watching the Centennial Bank Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
What's the best thing about a passport? Freedom. You know you can grab it and go someplace inspiring, someplace romantic, someplace unexpected. When you support your PBS station, you can enjoy PBS Passport, a member benefit that lets you stream great performances. Masterpiece. All your favorites when and where you want them. Oh my God. Go online to make a qualifying contribution, and away you go.
The Arkansas Department of Health is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrate Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS Sports. Escape the vape. Learn more of the hazards of vaping at projectprevents.org.
Wes Moore, Bobby Swafford, Tyler Cass down on the field. Let's head down to the sideline.
Yeah, guys, just before that last defensive possession for Prescott, you could tell the Curly Wolves players seemed a little down on the sideline. Coaches were yelling, hey, get your heads up. It's the first half. It's the championship game, and we've been in games like this before. They kept bringing up the Fordyce game, first round of the playoffs, where Prescott had to escape the Red Bugs with a 7-6 win, saying, hey, we've been in tough ones. Let's go out there and get it, and look at that. Momentum shifted on the defensive side right after that possession.
Thank you, Tyler. While Booneville was driving, getting across midfield, looking for their third score of the game, I was pulling up the Prescott schedule, trying to figure out when's the last time they gave up more than 3 scores in a game. Bobby, you got to go all the way back to the Friday, September 15th game, early in the season, Prescott and Hope, 41-38, and that was in overtime. Prescott won that game, but that was the last time they had given up more than 2 scores in a game.
Curly Wolves tried the surprise onside kick there, but it never went 10 yards. Actually only went about 6 yards and rolls out of bounds, so Booneville's going to get great field position. But that's where that defense is so important. Talking with Coach Glass earlier this week, they go out of state, schedule a 5A McAllister school, who's been really good in Oklahoma. That's their only loss of the season. Because you've got to schedule up. That's why Booneville's 2 losses this year. We haven't talked about it. One to Harding, who's playing tonight for a 4A championship, and the other to Camden Fairview, who, oh, by the way, went to the 5A semifinals. So these 2 teams expected to be here, and they scheduled like it.
It's tough to find opponents in the non-conference.
True.
Sometimes you got to go out of state because you can't find anybody that wants to play you.
Exactly right.
Booneville back across midfield. Give it to Goff. I like that call. Goff fighting forward, not much there, picked up a yard. After the fumble, you want to get the ball back in his hands.
That's exactly right. Get the confidence back up. Shut down for a gain of 1, and the Prescott player slow to get up. And we're starting to hear the Curly Wolf faithful start to get behind their team for the first time today. And had a whole lot to cheer about, but things have all shifted with that 1 scoop and score.
Momentum's a real deal in football. I mean, it's that way in all sports, but in football even more so. It's hard to play the game of football. It's hard to tackle somebody.
Right.
You know, it's hard to block. But when you get that little extra adrenaline from that momentum, it'll carry you. Right now, that momentum over there on the Prescott side.
See a lot of this from the Bearcat offense. To slow things down. The Prescott defense is chomping at the bit to make another play. Just kind of ease back into it. Wait till about 10 to 15 on the play clock. With an audible. Change things up at the line of scrimmage. They're wanting to limit possessions are the Bearcats.
Goff following Gray. Good tackle that time. They stopped him in his tracks, and that's hard to do. Picks up 2.
Really starting to see when Booneville gets in that I formation, they like things to the left. Quarterback's going to reverse pivot out, hand it off to Goff. So whether they like the formation, the matchups, or the numbers, there's something about that left side of the offensive line they want to stay behind.
One of the few times we saw someone stop Goff in his tracks and tackle him. So used to him breaking tackles. The Prescott defense maybe starting to settle in instead of the arm tackles. Maybe those arm tackles work against other running backs, but not against Goff and Ray. Timeout Booneville.
Timeout Booneville.
Haven't seen the Bearcats go to the air yet. 3rd and 6, going into the winds. I don't expect to see them throw it much here in this situation. You likely have 2 downs to pick up those 6 yards.
You know, Bobby, I was trying to do the math. Maybe you can help me. Washburn's attempted 59 passes. This is their 15th game, so they've played 14 games. That's about 4 a game.
4 a game.
Over 4 games.
And they say this is the most we've passed it in a while. But they've been efficient. What, 600 yards or so passing? So they make you pay. They just lull you to sleep, and all of a sudden they hit you with the play action and go big ball over the top.
37 to 59. 37 completions, 22 incompletions. So that's a good ratio.
It also helps they haven't played from behind much at all this year. You have to go all the way back to the non-conference really before they trailed of any significance.
Booneville's ready to go. Hold on. They're not quite there.
They're annoyed they had to take a timeout and stop the clock themselves.
Third and 6. You got to get to the 31. You got a flag.
We're going option there.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, that's got to irritate the Booneville coaches. Call a timeout, and then we come out of that timeout and get a penalty for a false start. And instead of 3rd and 6, it's now 3rd and 11. That's not what this offense wanted. Ball's at the 42.
5 penalties, all pre-snap against Booneville today. Another false start on the receiver. In the wrong direction.
You hear that Prescott sideline and the fans.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Fans are waving, push them back. Push them back. 3rd and 16. Another stop and play.
Clock's reading that there's 52 minutes left, and that can't be right.
That'll really upset Booneville.
Can't limit the possessions when there's 52 minutes in a quarter.
Somehow an extra 0 got up there. It's 5:20 left. All right, clock's fixed. 3rd and 16. We saw this in the first quarter, and they were very cautious with it.
They were back
a couple of times.
Backed up inside their own 10 now here at midfield, but going into the winds, see if they decide to open it up and let Washburn throw it.
A little bit more aggressive. We'll see. They'll give it to Goff over the right side. Goff breaking tackles. Goff across the 35 to the 30. Finally brought down, but Goff has got the 1st down.
It's just hard to wrap your hand around a team that's faced now 3rd and 15. They're going to run the football. But that time they kind of go reverse with an inside handoff there to Goff. He makes a man miss in the hole, and he can do the rest.
2 blockers. Followed those blockers, then just cut it back inside. Breaks tackles.
Well, that yards after contact, Wes, is so important. They've got him stopped well short of the yards gain, and he just runs through it.
I love Goff, too. He hit the ground. He looked immediately to the sideline to see where the marker was, see if he got that 1st down. He did. They move the chains. They give it to Ray. Ray back up the middle, working that middle over. It's like a boxer, you know, just pounding away at the body. Body blow, body blow, body blow. And then they go for the haymaker from time to time with Goff. Pick up 4 on 1st down. 4.5 minutes to go in this 1st half. Booneville trying to add to their lead. All scoring has happened while Booneville's had the ball.
That's right. Time of possession is leaning heavily in the guys in purple.
Ray just that time just sidestepped the defender trying to come in to make the tackle, made him miss. He falls forward to the 20. Need about 3 yards. They got to get to about the 17.
Yeah, this is one of those games when Booneville plays, when the Prairie Groves, the teams that run the flex bone, the wing tee, etc. You kind of have to take that time of possession and say, okay, we're going to have 3, maybe 4 fewer possessions than we're used to.
Goff right behind the quarterback. Goff's going to take it right up the middle, pushing the pile forward. He is close to the 1st down. I think he has it.
Give it to him.
Yep, moving the chains. Goff with 3 yards, right up the middle. Power football.
Well, they want 3.5 yards to carry. Moves the chains after 3 snaps, and we'll do it all over again. 28 rushing attempts, 29 after that carry. 0 through the air. They're over 170 yards now on the ground.
Well, right now they'll take 3 yards to carry because they're this close to the goal line. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Watching pregame, anything outside the 10, they're likely going for it on 4th down.
Goff up the middle. Goff falls forward, probably picked up about 5. Like he was tripped and just jumped forward, fell forward, leapt forward. And he's down inside the 15 to the 14. They'll just give him 4.
3-yard gain is 2nd and 7.
The clock, under 3 minutes now. They'd love just to run out this clock, score a touchdown.
Yeah,
Prescott never get the ball back.
If you're a Booneville fan, you're hoping you pick up a 1st down, don't score on a big play so you can run out even more clock.
Goff breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage. He's down at the 10.
Booneville coaching staff was wanting a face mask at the end of that run. They don't get the call. Just what we're talking about. 3rd and 3 now. You'll take it if you're Booneville. Only 3.5 a carry. We're likely going to get 2 shots at it from here.
Prescott getting a steady dose of Dax Goff his last couple plays. Goff right behind the quarterback again.
14 carries for Goff, 14 for Ray.
Make it 15. Falls forward. He's going to be short. Spinning to the 8. 2 minutes to go now. Fourth and probably a full yard. Maybe a little less than a full yard.
Minute and a half or so. Maybe 1:35 on the clock when they snap this one.
Goff with 2 hands around that ball that time. The Prescott defender, after they had him slowed, came in there trying to rip it out, but Goff learned from his fumble.
It's a huge driver, a huge 4th down right here because Booneville can find a way to score. Remember, they get the ball to start the second half.
That Goff gets it. Goff gets it. 5. Oh, and he's hit at the 2. Goff came close to his 3rd touchdown of the day, but a touchdown-saving tackle at the 2.
It's a big hit there, and I think this is smart by Prescott. They take the timeout. They know the situation with Booneville getting the ball to start the second half. That's a big tackle for one for Prescott coming over. Talon Smith takes out Ray right before he can score. But now Booneville knocking on the door, a chance to put this lead back to 2 scores before we get into the half.
Prescott's first time out, so they got 2 more. They're going to do everything they can to have a little time left to put something together before the end of the half.
You got to believe it's just going to go Ray, or whoever they decide to line up at fullback. He's in the balance, and that's what's so frustrating as a defense. You think that you've got things figured out, and all of a sudden they go to the option number 2. Goff, 16 carries, 93 yards. Rylan Ray, 15 carries, 86 yards. Washburn's only carried it once. Connor Lentz has only carried it once. That's when they're going to get you in the second half. All of a sudden they pull it from the fullback and they let the quarterback keep it. He's got a lead blocker, and maybe he's running free.
It's been a very fast first half.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even at an hour yet. I think kickoff wasn't until what?
12:10.
12:10?
Yeah.
1:02. That's what happens with Booneville. I bet their fans are used to getting home by 9:30 for a home game.
And then you add that, and a lot of times they put the mercy rule, the sportsmanship rule on people. They may be home by 8:30.
Booneville may be the first scores that show up on the scoreboards as a final for a lot of the weeks. Booneville on the doorstep, handoff. Couldn't get there that time. Prescott's defense did a good job. Just nowhere for Rylan Ray to go. He tried to bounce it out to the left.
It's a great job of just the flow of the defense, because it looked like as soon as he bounced that out, he might be able to walk into the end zone, but a great play on the edge by Jamarian Burton. We've called his name a couple times. The defensive end for the Curly Wolves as they burn their second timeout.
Could get interesting. They can get another stop. Looking down at that sideline. Is the scoreboard right? Is it second down or third?
It'll be second down. They called timeout before first down.
That's what threw me off. Yeah, Goff, when he was tackled at the 2, picked up the first down, made it 1st and goal from the 2. We're way too far away from the sideline marker, down marker. I couldn't read that. I figured that one was right. I was second guessing the scoreboard. I shouldn't do it.
There's this big bright thing in the sky that we're not used to seeing over the last couple days here in Central Arkansas. I believe it's called the sun. It's probably warm out there on the turf today as well. That's one thing you got to pay attention to maybe in the second half. It's a warm day for December.
It's a beautiful day for December. Pull up my weather app. 62 right now in Little Rock. All right, 2nd and goal from the 4. Goff is in the backfield. He's right behind Washburn. Goff with it over the right side. Goff leaning forward. Goff down at the 1. He was stretching forward, trying to get in. Prescott coaches run on the field. They call their last timeout.
They overloaded to the right side.
Prescott, last time out and a half.
Booneville finally goes to that side, and they've been going left so many times, but a great job of filling over. 7:33. You got Rafter, Davis converged to make the play right shy of the goal line. You got to believe Booneville's got 2 shots from inside the 1. And the first one you'd believe likely Ray right up the middle.
I got a quick Goff note if you guys want it.
Zero doubt that they would go for it on 4th down. They figured, okay, even if we don't get it, Prescott's going to take over at the 1 with not much time left. Let's go down the sideline, check in with Tyler Cass.
Yeah, guys, we've seen just how important Dax Goff is to this Booneville offense. He plays defense as well, and I was just over on the Prescott sideline where the offense was huddled up, trying to draw some things up, and multiple offensive linemen for the Curly Wolves kept saying 34 is good. He's beating us every time, and the coach goes, 34? You mean Goff? So Prescott is over there game planning for Dax Goff, the linebacker, while Dax Goff, the running back, is going to look to punch it in here.
Two-way player. What's he going to do at Harding? Do you know, Bobby?
Yeah, with that option attack and what he ran in high school, you got to believe they're going to hand him the football. 86 now career touchdowns, including the 2 today. It's hard not to say, okay, we're going to put you on defense when you've got that kind of resume at the high school level.
That's a nice luxury. But you know Harding, they play defense.
Sure.
Yeah, they hang their hat on defense too.
Offset lined up at the wing back on the left.
Erden go from the 1. Goff right behind. They're going to push him in. Quarterback sneak. Touchdown. Booneville. A little delayed call there from the side, but Washburn gets in.
Call that the Booneville bump from behind.
I like it. Just right on top of his center. Goff gives him a little push. He's into the end zone.
It's a big drive right there for the Booneville Bearcats. They just methodically march down the field, shoot up most of the second portion of this second quarter. Now they've got a 2-score lead.
They're going to chase points anymore. They got their field goal kicker out. Good snap this time. Hold. Kick is up and no good. They should have chased it. 18-7. So Prescott will have a minute 16 to try to get something going. You know, I try to be as unbiased as possible in these games. You know, when you have teams from outside the Central Arkansas area that we don't cover too much, it's pretty easy for me to be unbiased. What I like to see is a good game.
Yeah.
And that I would like to see Prescott, the heart of a champion, drive down the field here and make this, you know, a little change of momentum before we get to the locker room. Because, you know, Booneville's got a chance here. If they get a stop, they get the ball to start the second half. The way this running game is clicking, they come down and score again. All of a sudden, you look up, and it could be 24-25 to 7. I want to see what Prescott's made of here. This is a big drive for the Curly Wolves.
And the missed point after is lean large right now. This could easily be a 21-7 game, but now it's just an 11-point advantage, still within striking distance. That drive, though, Wes, 13 plays, just 41 yards, but took 5.5 minutes off the clock. And that's Booneville football to a T, but you're right. These last 76 seconds are massive for Prescott. Find a way to put some points on the board, and you feel a whole lot differently going into the second half.
Line drive kick. It's going to be fielded at the 30, 35 to the 40. So Prescott's got great field position across to the 43. So they just need 57 yards. And with this offense and the way they can throw it, they've got plenty of time to try to get on the scoreboard.
And no timeouts. But they've been successful. They've hit one big play right up the middle, but they've been successful attacking the edges of this Booneville defense. Where they've gotten in trouble is trying to go deep down the middle. So try to go to the outside, maybe find a one-on-one matchup out there and let your receiver go make a play.
Genoa Harris has had 2 big runs for Prescott, and that's been about it on their offense. But they hadn't had the ball a whole lot of times. How many plays have they even snapped on offense?
16.
Yates looking to pass. He has his receiver caught right at the 45-yard line. That'll move the ball across midfield. He gets out of bounds. First down, clock stops. Good play on first down for Prescott. Just what they needed.
16 plays for 62 yards prior to that pitch and catch there. But that's what I'm talking about, man. Get a one-on-one, go to your receivers on the outside, you get out of bounds, save the clock.
Yates and shotgun. Booneville bringing some pressure. Good job by the offensive line picking it up across the middle, and it's nothing there. Nothing there. There were 3 Booneville defenders. Luckily, the ball was overthrown. Going for goalie there down the seam.
I'm sure Prescott's had a ton of success on that post, but today, the 3 times they've tried it, 2 of it's been, one's intercepted, one's deflected, and that one was into triple coverage. I think you've got to really go outside, attack the corners, because you get in there with the safeties. There's too many purple jerseys around the football. Just bailing out, dropping 4.
Yep, Yates rolls to his left. Yates looking. Just he really didn't have anybody open. He threw it behind his receiver. That ball falls incomplete. Rolling to the left. He just had 2 receivers to work with over there. One was covered deep. The other one was coming in motion with him and just threw it behind him.
It's a great play by Washburn, who's lined up at safety, but he saw the receiver with the out-breaking move, and he closes hard. And made Yates think twice about throwing the football, throws it behind the receiver. Now it's 3rd and long.
Yates has Harris. Now Harris goes out in motion. Booneville comes on the blitz on the left side, under all kinds of pressure. He had his receiver, but he dropped it. His receiver had some room to run. If he would have caught that, there was nobody around him. He could have maybe picked up the 1st down and stepped out of bounds. Did not look it in. He tried. You see it. He just tried to catch it and start running before he even had the ball. Nakari
Prater was another of open spaces. If he makes that catch, it's a 1st down and maybe more. Now Prescott's got to think. You go for it on 4th and 10, potentially give Booneville good field position. They're going.
Yep, they're going. Yates with it. Trying to pick up the 1st down with his feet. Yates breaks 1 tackle, but he did not get there.
It's going to be a couple yards shy. You got to know where you're at on the football field. If he keeps that up the middle, he's got that 1st down yards. But as soon as he angled to the sideline, the Booneville defense had the angle, had the numbers right there. If he keeps that to the inside, he might have him pick it up. And now we'll see if Booneville just wants to take a knee, or if they've got 2 timeouts, maybe take a shot down the field.
You just keep doing what you do. You know, we've seen explosive plays from Goff. Goff could break one and take it to the house. I think you just continue to pound away, and if you break one, fine. If not, we're about to get the ball back anyway.
No point in taking unnecessary risks here if you're Booneville. You've got an 11-point lead. You've dominated the line of scrimmage for the most part. Just hand it to 34. See what you can create on the ground.
Exactly what they do. He spins, gets 5 on 1st down. They're looking at the clock. They're not going to call a timeout. I thought they might. Coach just kind of looked up there, trying to decide what they wanted to do, and decide they're not in any hurry either, Bobby.
They do have to snap it at least once more. 20 on the play clock, 22 on the game clock.
Some of the Booneville players are slowly making their way to the end of the tunnel. I think they realize their coach is just going to hand this off one more time. Let's go to the locker room. And that's what they do. Goff gets the 1st down. That'll stop the clock with 4 seconds. Coaches are taking off their headsets. I think they're ready to go in the locker room. Yep, they're pointing the way. Let's go to the locker room, guys. That's what we'll do too. We'll take a break with them. Booneville's up 18-7. They take an 11-point lead to the locker room. They will get the ball when we start the 2nd half. Tyler Cass is down on the sideline, waiting for their head coach, Crowley. Making his way over there. We lost him. Where'd Coach? There he goes. Let's go down to Tyler. Tyler's got the coach.
Yeah, Coach, look, a whole different world from this time last year when you guys were at War Memorial. Just in this last week or so, how much have you used last year's state title game to motivate this squad?
Yeah, it's been a huge motivating factor for us all year long, and you know, the kids are hungry. They're ready to come out here and show. Last year, you know, was not our best football, and we're excited to be here and getting after it right now.
Yeah, and then in this one, coming off the scoop and score for Prescott, getting a touchdown of your own, and then the stop at the end. How big were those 2 possessions?
Yeah, giving up that scoop and score definitely hurt, but our defense has been playing great throughout the playoffs, you know, and we've had a lot of young guys out there that have grown up real quick, and to get that score at the end meant everything, you know, up 2 scores now and go back in, get the ball when we come out in the 2nd half.
Perfect. Good luck out there, Coach.
Thank you, Tyler. It's been all Booneville. If you think about it, Bobby, 1 negative play, Prescott with the scoop and score. Otherwise, it's been all Booneville. 18-7 as we go to the half. Got a big halftime show lined up for you. Stick around. We'll be back for 2nd half action. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
1958 was a year of change in America. The Hope Diamond was donated to the Smithsonian Museum. The microchip was invented. NASA was created by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. And in Arkansas, deep in the recesses of Wool Memorial Stadium, a group of prominent Little Rock businessmen founded the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. The original mission of the Hall of Fame was simple enough:
to recognize and induct individuals and teams that have brought honor to the state of Arkansas, and we do provide scholarships for student athletes.
It's a great place for young people to get inspired, to come here themselves, to walk through and to read these stories and think, someday that can be me.
We inducted our first class in 1959. We have over 500 inductees.
Basketball players, football players, baseball players, archery or in sharpshooting, trap shooting, runners, golfers.
Horse racing, car racing.
It's a great cross-section of what sports is.
For more than 60 years, the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame worked to honor those most accomplished athletes who call the natural state home.
Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame selection process is simple but a little complicated. You can go online and nominate your favorite sports hero.
That person goes into a master database. Selection committee comes up with those 50 people on the voting list for each category. That is mailed out to the dues-paying members. You pick your top 5. Those come back. The top 2 vote getters in the regular category automatically get in. The top vote getter from the senior category automatically gets in.
And then the board votes on the remaining inductees.
And then you wait for a call.
When you get the call, it's a big deal.
You know, when I was inducted to the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, or however, when I received the call, I feel like I've reached something.
Being from a small town, rural area, which Arkansas is a lot of that way, and when you get picked for something this prestigious, it has a huge impact on your life.
It seemed to me it was the cap of my athletic career.
It just seemed like all the hard work has paid off for me.
All the people you meet, all the connections you make.
They welcome you. It was remarkable to me the night that I came to be inducted, because the former inductees, they want you to feel like, hey, you're part of us now.
Clearly, sports in Arkansas isn't all fun and games.
Sports is a common ground that brings everybody together, and we compete. We want to see a good battle, but we want to shake hands afterwards, and there's a mutual respect for everyone that played.
Athletics teaches you discipline, it teaches you teamwork, it prepares you for life. It got me a full scholarship at the University of Central Arkansas.
Eventually, the Hall of Fame had grown to need a new home, and by early 2007, construction was complete on the almost 14,000 square foot Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame Museum, located in what is now Simmons Bank Arena in North Little Rock.
All the communities in the state have an opportunity to make sure their heroes are remembered, and they do that. You walk through this Hall of Fame, see a helmet from some small community here or a smaller college maybe than the Razorbacks are.
Jerseys, pictures, statistics, all kinds of memorabilia.
Like a picture of Scottie Pippen standing next to a polar bear for some reason.
It's just like creating the milestones of the people who started and who laid the foundation.
Their favorite thing is always the bears back there in the car, the Martin car, but they actually get to see how sports in Arkansas started.
Everybody, as they were growing up, had their favorite sports heroes. We preserve those sports heroes for the different generations.
They can look there and say, wow, this person overcame this. They came from maybe an impoverished background, or maybe a beginning that wasn't necessarily headed towards sports but ended up there someday. We have a great sports legacy here. It's a great representation of what this state is about. Hardworking people who endured, who achieved, and so to have that legacy in a permanent place here, I hope people embrace that and hope they come here and enjoy it.
Look at the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame as motivation and say, hey, one day that's going to be me.
Now you know the history. You can be a part of the future of the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame.
Just the way Wynn is, you know, it's called the city with a smile. Whether it's a Friday night football game, or it's a family in need that's going through a hard time, or it's a community going through a tornado, the people of Wynn rally around each other.
We have a serious situation, a new tornado warning in the city of Wynn. Wynn. You need to be in your tornado safe spot right now.
I grew up here, graduated from here in 2000. A lot of memories here.
Wynn High School, there's a lot of tradition here.
I've been here my entire life. All my families went here. It's been very big.
The school year was going really normally. I was actually in the middle of like classes and stuff, not expecting anything to change.
Yo, we were excited because it kind of felt like it was the first year post-COVID.
My senior year, I wanted to play college football. I was in off-season for football. I was playing soccer too.
And we were really excited. Things were going along. all the way up to March 31st. And the last thing in the world on our mind was having a tornado destroy our school and our kids yet again not having a normal year.
That radar is showing you the hook echo that just now went through wind. That is a debris ball just to the east of wind.
One of my maintenance guys called and he said, "You got to get down here." He said, "The school's gone." You know, the tragedies happen. You know, the storms hit. We had our moment of, you know, just breaking down. We can't stay in that moment. What do we do to help our community?
I got a call from one of my buddies, and he told me the turf was in his front yard from the football field.
Right after I heard that the tornado hit the field and there's no football, I'm thinking, okay, what's the next step? Like, what are we gonna do?
We were right out here on that field, and there's debris everywhere. There's tile. It's the first time we really got to meet with the team. They got bulldozers behind there, bulldozing their school. You know, the kids' look on their eyes is like, what kind of nightmare have I woke up to?
It was a surreal feeling, something I'll never forget.
We have to find a way to make sure our kids don't lose anything. They don't lose prom, they don't lose graduation.
Obviously, with the field being nothing but gravel, we went to a church field for spring football practice because we didn't have turf. We've been out on the grass. We just kind of made the most of what we had.
We could have easily sat back and just said, man, what do we do? But that's a testament to our leadership. It's a testament to our teachers, our students, to put in the extra work it took to get us to that point.
Once the temporary campus got done, it was an easier transition. It was more of like a normal school feeling.
They did a great job getting our facilities back.
I was in pads. It was an amazing feeling to get on turf. From the difference from turf to grass, it was an amazing feeling.
I always, you know, lived through the kids, and well, they were teared up. You know, it was a big deal for sure.
Looking in that stance, seeing the Wynn community all back together, everybody that stayed through adversity, it was all a very come together moment.
It's an awesome community we live in here.
We're playing pretty good. So many fans packed out every game.
And it's just not that they show up when there's loss or when there's grief. They show up for everything. That's what they do in Whitehall. Our superintendent then brought him in. You know, you'd think that someone that played in the NFL and a big star quarterback, he didn't come off like that at all. You could tell he was getting ready. He was ready to get to work, and he was excited to be the head football coach.
He just comes in and he introduces himself, and he immediately flashes this huge smile and cracks a joke, and it's his laugh. He always had this laugh. It was a working relationship, but then it turned into he was literally my best friend. Well, you knew who he was when he got here, but he didn't want that. He wanted to just be Ryan.
What he brought was a big heart for kids, a huge personality, just a simple, humble man is what I saw. He wanted to give back to kids and give back to the sport that he loved.
Coach Mallett always said Ben was the first football player that he met when he came. The house he rented was right across the street from Ben's house. He knew that Ben was going to be special. He said, man, I love that kid.
Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember Benjamin Riddick. Here to accept Benjamin's diploma is his mother.
I woke up that morning with some text messages and calls, and a couple of those calls were from Coach Mallett.
When Ben passed away, that's when I really found out how close they were because of how bad it wrecked him. It changed him. It really, really did.
I cared for him a lot. He was like my son, basically. It's tough.
When you lose a kid like that and know that he was going to go off and do great things, and that one hit me hard.
It's just sad seeing Coach Mallett react the way he did. He went on the field and hugged everybody on the field and started crying and told us all that he loved us. We all use each other to kind of piggyback on, try to look to each other for comfort. Everybody was there for each other. Mallet being the name that he was, you know, fake media or whatever, posted stuff when we text the group chat, yo, is this real? I was like, there's no way. So I called him. I was like, there's no way it's true. Let me call him. And he didn't pick up. I was like, wow, this is real.
I was in shock. I had just talked to him about an hour and a half before.
I just melted to the ground. The feelings and the emotions were so raw, you can't hardly describe it unless you're in that moment.
To be honest, it didn't seem that it could possibly be real. Our district had lost students. We had lost a coach that our kids adored. It was more than what we could handle as a district.
As a whole community, I think they came together to help us football players out. They had counselors from every school, even elementary schools there. Knowing that they were there for us helped out a lot.
It's just the outpouring of affection and love that they show in this community for you. It was awesome. It was about what you expect from Whitehall. They were there.
Just that outpouring of love that was felt in not just our community, but surrounding communities in the state. Just was the love that was shown to us, it's healing.
And we as a community can get through this. We've gone through all these things, and every day we are moving forward.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
You've spent years exploring Arkansas with us. Did you know Arkansas PBS is also here to help you explore your financial options to be more prepared for the future? Almost 2/3 of Americans don't have a will in place. Your thoughtful planning of a will or trust can help protect you and your family. It can also help guide the future of public television in Arkansas. Explore your options. Request a free estate planning booklet from Arkansas PBS today.
Hi, I'm Eric Gorgeous from A Craftsman's Legacy.
Yeah, let's make it happen, man. All right, let's get to it.
All right.
Yeah, let's rock and roll. I like flames. I cannot stress enough how hot it is.
That's beautiful. Show your love for Create and its commercial-free programming by becoming a member of your local public television station. Simply call the number below or visit createtv.com to make a donation. It's viewers like you that make Create possible. Thank you.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. 3A state championship game in Booneville leads Prescott 18-7. Westmore, Bobby Swafford. It's all Booneville in that first half, Bobby.
It really has. You take away the one scoop and score that the Curly Wolf defense got, it has been all guys in purple and gold. 193 yards on the ground, 11 first downs, and I mentioned it a couple times in that first half. 17:53 of time of possession. Prescott has had the ball for half of one quarter.
Let's go down the sidelines, check in with Tyler Cass.
Hey, Coach, all right, coming out of the locker room, out of that first half, I mean, just what was the message to the team in there?
I mean, we got to get a couple stops and put it in the end zone. It's that simple. I mean, we've hung in there, made it hard on them, but we got to keep them out of the end zone, and the offense has got to get going. You know, we hadn't finished the drive.
You know, playing against this Booneville team that they're going to limit the possessions you get on offense. Just what adjustments you guys need to make on that side of the ball?
I mean, we just got to execute, got to stay on blocks, protect the quarterback. You know, still got to be able to run the ball, and we got to throw it and catch it.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck out there.
Yeah, I think that's important for Prescott. They got to run the ball too. You know, Genoa Harris, 6 carries, 57 yards. He had the big 37-yard carry, but he's been effective.
Yeah, they've got to just get that initial first down. That's where they've really struggled. And as we take a look at the first half highlights, getting 34 and 33 on the ground is also going to be important, limiting those yards after contact.
Off goes 31 there for a touchdown. It made it 6-0. Prescott going to the air, trying to get something going, but it was picked off. And then Booneville went back to work, just hammering away with Rylan Ray and Dax Goff. Prescott once again was trying to go deep and got it knocked down. This was the big play for Prescott. No, actually, this is Goff, 13-yard touchdown run. There's a similar play coming up where Goff's bouncing it out to the right side, and he fumbles it. And Gleason picks it up, goes the other way, 52 yards for the scoop and score, officially 51 yards. That made it 12-7. But then Booneville got back into the end zone at the end of the first half. That run set up a quarterback sneak from Jace Washburn. That made it 18-7. And then, you know, Booneville's defense got a big stop. There was a nice return right there at the end of the first half. Prescott looked like they were in business, but Booneville's defense bows up, gets the stop, and 18-7 as we get ready to start the second half.
Yeah, these two teams, no stranger to War Memorial. They've played for championships. You can see the series history there. Booneville leads at all time, 6-2. Honestly, it's surprising these two teams don't play more often. Of course, the bracket kind of rotates every year to kind of have a little parity, so you're not playing the same teams in the postseason from the same conferences. But you add these two teams, of course, Charleston, go back a couple years ago when Harding Academy was in Class 3A. I mean, those are the teams that you expect to see competing on the first or second weekend in December. And here we are, Bearcats and Curly Wolves about to duke it out for another title.
Bobby, what do you think Harding Academy is doing right now?
Yeah. They're probably watching the Harding University win a championship. I think Coach Evans and company going to get on the bus in get an hour or so and head down here to Little Rock, and hopefully they can win a championship as they're cheering on the Bison, going to go play for a national championship.
Harding, the Bison, right now up 55-7 in the fourth quarter. So I'm going to go and say Harding's going to play for a national championship next week.
That's cool. The last time a Division II school from Arkansas played for a national title ever? You think about, back in my playing days, UCA, we were good, but we never made it to a championship game. Delta State, Valdosta from the old school Gulf South, for people who remember that. They were the dominant teams. UCA, of course, won an NAIA title a couple times in the 90s. Have to maybe dive into the record book. It's been a long time since an Arkansas team played for a championship. It's very cool to see Harding get that chance.
No doubt about it. They'll be heading to McKinney, Texas next week for that national title game. And I'm sure some of the Harding Bison may make their way to War Memorial Stadium. If not, they may be watching us tonight on Arkansas PBS Sports when little brothers, Harding Academy, will play for the 4A state title.
Of course, Coach Simmons, the coach at Harding, his son, a senior for Harding Academy.
Well, Wyatt is committed to the Razorbacks and maybe a more focal point of the offense tonight. He plays a little running back in their wildcat formation, goal line situation. Seen him run the ball a couple of times this year, but he may have a bigger role tonight.
You and RJ have got the call. So if you folks in Harding, Searcy, can't make the trip down, turn on the game.
Second half underway, and Booneville ready to get to work. They'll start with the ball at the 29-yard line.
Big drive for Prescott here. You got to find a way to get a stop, get some confidence for that side of the football.
A little different formation here. They got three receivers out to the right. Now Goff is one of those receivers in the slot. Wouldn't surprise me if he comes in motion. Nope, and he's going to hand it straight up, bouncing off tackles. Prescott's defensive line did a good job that time, stringing it out, just nowhere for Ryland Ray to go.
Might be a setup play. You saw Goff kind of swing out like they were going to run the old bubble screen to him, but instead they just handed it off to the fullback. A great job by Rafter to make the play, and Talon Smith cleans it up.
Smith, their leading tackler, 15 tackles for a loss. That's a tackle for a loss. That's one of the few today. 2nd and 11.
They got numbers down here. So it's 3-on-3. Now the safety's walking across. Maybe they try that bubble screen here to get the ball to Goff in space. He's one-on-one with the safety or corner. You like those numbers if you're Booneville.
Quarterback keeps it. And Washburn keeping it. Fake the handoff to Ray. He falls forward, picks up 5 on 2nd and 11. That'll bring up 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
Just a different wrinkle that Booneville's trying to show the Prescott defense. Try to get him out of position. Curly Wolves don't oblige, and so now we go back to the traditional flex bone look.
3rd down, first drive of the second half for Booneville. Ray right behind the quarterback. Down and hand it off to, stumbling, falling forward was Goff. It's going to be a little short. They're going to mark him way back at the 35. I think his knee, when he was spinning, grazed the ground.
It's the same play that they picked up the 3rd and 15 on in the first half, so they come back to it. Great job by Prescott to stay home and recognize it. And you're exactly right. Goff just on the spin just does touchdown.
Elbow.
Yeah, really nice play in the hole. I believe that's Gleason who had the scoop and score in the first half and made the play.
Gleason listed as a freshman. So punt, 3 and out for Booneville. Just what Prescott needed. Corey Prater back deep. That's a good punt. Well over his head, but the play was blown dead.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Big break for Prescott there, as that was going to be a huge field position flipper. Now Booneville's going to have to back it up 5 yards and try to replicate that big punt.
Prater may want to back up just a hair because the wind is howling from left to right. The punter is punting with the wind, and that time you saw the punt get up in the wind, and it went well over Prater's head. Prater standing at his own 30 right now. It would be a 40-yard punt. He's very capable of that from what we just saw. A little lower punt this time. It's going to bounce in front of Prater. It gets a Prescott bounce. But Prater was wanting to bounce straight to him. He was wanting to return it, but he won't get the chance. But Prescott will take over at their own 41-yard line.
So that's what Prescott's defense needed to do. They get a stop. They get good field position for their offense. And now we'll see the adjustments of Coach Glass and company and see what they do. They had success one time going to the outside, one time in the interior of the run game, and really nothing to be seen of in the passing game with the exception of, I guess, the one about a 12 to 15-yard out. Booneville's done a really good job defensively.
Yeah, there's been not much there for Prescott to throw the ball. In fact, Pierce Yates, 4 of 9 with an interception.
21 plays, in that first half for this Prescott offense. Less than 80 yards.
Noah Harris to the right of the quarterback Yates. He'll take the pitch. Trying to get outside, he stumbles.
Turf monster got him.
Yep, he had a blocker out there trying to hold off Dax Goff, and I think he was trying to cut it outside, or cut it inside of Goff. That's when he just lost his footing.
Yeah, they had some numbers, had the advantage there. If he doesn't slip and fall on the turf here at War Memorial, maybe he picks up 4 or 5, and instead it's 2nd and 10.
Snap is a little behind. Yeah, trying a little different formation. They do get to the outside, across the 50, close to the first down marker. They'll give him the first down.
They go Wildcat there, snap right to Dakari Prater. He loses the helmet, so he's going to have to come out, but it's a big first down for the Curly Wolves.
Prater's a good athlete. He's a cornerback on defense. He returns kicks and punts for them, and that time lined up in the Wildcat, trying to get this offense going.
He's the receiver who dropped the pass on 3rd down, so maybe a confidence booster there, get him the football in his hands.
Got a bunch formation for Prescott.
Power with the quarterback last time they were in this formation.
Yates hands it off to receiver in motion. That's Gully. Gully to the outside. Gully at the 40, steps out of bounds there. Nice pickup on first down for Prescott. Back-to-back good plays for them.
Starting to see the halftime adjustment for Prescott is get the ball to the outside. Try to take advantage of the speed. Take the one-on-one advantage if you've got it. Get some hats out in front.
You know, that was the big run from Harris that we saw in the first half. That was also an outside run. 2nd and 2.
And a direct snap.
Got the first down and more. Needs a block, gets it to the 30, 25, cuts back in the middle, 15 brought down inside the 15. Big run, that'll pick up about 23.
Giving Booneville a different look. So they go to the Wildcat. They're going to stick with it and try to hurry things up here.
Kari Prater with the big runs. First down play, handoff right up the middle to the 5, inside the 5. Genoa Harris. Prescott got a little something cooking here.
Just that change of pace. You get Booneville's eyes in a different spot. Now they're going to try to hurry up again. They can pick up a first down without scoring.
Prater, shotgun formation. Prater with it, going over the right side. Prater, touchdown Prescott. They respond.
That's a big drive for Prescott. It's changed things just a little bit. Get out of the traditional spread, more of a power run game, even though they're snapping it to an athlete or a wide receiver in Prater's case. Finding the end zone, and now we'll see if Prescott decides to go for 2.
They are
make this a field goal game.
Yeah, they're going for 2. See Yates in there.
Swinging gate for them as well. They've got numbers. Booneville didn't get out there. He snapped it right to him.
Yep.
On the near side.
Walks it in. Easy 2 for Prater. So Prater picks up 8 points on that drive.
That's a big drive for Prescott and the Curly Wolf faithful. They're into it. Booneville still got a lead.
just got a little more interesting. This is the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Southern Loft is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS. It is our mission to tell your story by adding color with our furniture. And that's why Southern Loft is a different kind of furniture store. For more information, go to mysouthernloft.com.
Give your family a once-in-a-lifetime experience at the Little Rock Zoo, at Arkansas's largest lantern festival. Glow wild at the Little Rock Zoo. After dark, bring your family to a radiant wonderland where imagination sparks. Discover 40 new lighted mystical creatures and returning favorites at Glow Wild, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing a healthcare partner rooted in your community. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Let our family care for yours.
Vaping addicts you to nicotine and can prematurely age your lungs to those of a 70-year-old. Don't get lost in the fog. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org.
ArCare is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS Sports. The ArCare network of medical clinics and pharmacies helps to keep you in the game, playing your best. ArCare, so you can live your story.
That's Bobby Swafford. We got Tyler Cass down the sideline. I'm Wes Moore. Glad you're with us. 3A state title game. Booneville 18, Prescott 15. Prescott with the momentum right now. You look over that sideline, man, they were jumping up and down. Their fans got a good turnout for this 3A state championship game. The Curly Wolves fans were all excited over there. You looked over at Booneville, that sideline was quiet.
Yep. Couldn't have not have asked for a better start to the second half for Prescott. You get a stop defensively. You get a short field for your offense. You throw a different wrinkle. You go, I guess, what do you call it, the Wild Wolf? I don't know. Wildcat formation there for Prescott. They put it into the end zone just like that. Now you got some momentum. Got to go out there and play a little more defense because Booneville's going to continue to do what they do and try to pound the rock.
Yeah, Booneville got off to a great start to start the game. It's Prescott with a great start in the second half. Short kick, fielded, tackled immediately. Booneville will take over at the 33. Even a big hit like that has Prescott fans excited.
Yep. All the momentum is on the guys dressed in white and maroon today. This is where that offensive line has to take control if you're Booneville to stunt this momentum. Try to get things going back your way, but more importantly, give your defense and your defensive coaching staff a little time to kind of talk things over and kind of find an answer for that Prescott attack. Because if you go 3 and out again, you're putting your defense in a disadvantage.
Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Goff touched the ball in the first drive.
Yeah.
For Booneville out of the half. It was all Ray and Washburn.
They lined him up at receiver for 2 of those snaps.
Ray up the middle, nothing. Prescott's made a little change defensively, or maybe they're just playing a little bit more excited now that they have the momentum.
Now you're starting to see players line up in the A-gap. They're really driving down on that fullback because they know that that's got to be the first thing you have to stop if you're going to try to slow down this triple option. Stop the fullback first, and you're starting to see more jerseys in there. Maybe start to see Booneville go to the toss sweep that we saw in that first half or more of the option game.
See the defense over there looking over at the coaches. Rasheed Muhammad at that defensive tackle spot.
See how tight those linebackers are, those inside linebackers right over the center.
Quarterback keeps it. Quarterback has room to run. That's Washburn with it. Cross midfield to the 40. Out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Big run. Bobby, you mentioned this would be coming.
That's what Washburn's looking for, but there is a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
I just heard a Booneville fan scream no. Officials are marching way back. Now they're waving at everybody. Come on back. Come on back.
Holding Offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Maybe the biggest penalty of the game so far, Bobby.
There's no question. You finally get something going with anyone other than Ray or Goff, and we knew it was going to come eventually. You pull it, and you've got the option with the quarterback, and you get a big gainer, but now all the momentum just taken away from the penalty. More importantly, though, Wes, I mean, Booneville's not a team that's built to get 2nd and 16 more times than not.
That's Goff right up the middle. Goff across midfield. Goff trying to take it to the house. Goff to the house. Dax Goff with his 3rd touchdown of the day.
What I say about Booneville not built to get 2nd and 16? I'm just going to sit over here and be quiet as we watch Dax Goff rumble. 73 yards to the house. 3rd touchdown of the game. Dax Goff is dominating the ground. Shows some speed, too.
That's what I was about to say. Thought Dax was going to get caught around the 20, and all of a sudden he found another gear and pulled away.
What a big answer for Booneville. You're behind the chains because of the penalty. Doesn't matter. Give it to 34. He'll make something happen.
Kick is up, and this time the kick is good. Booneville responds. Here we go. Back and forth, trading blows. 25-15. You know, Bobby, right before, I didn't have time to say it, but I was thinking, you know, the first half, it was a 3rd and long or 2nd and long. They gave it to Goff, and he picked up the first down.
Exact same play.
And they do it again.
Yeah, we've seen.
Each time he's touched the ball in the 2nd half.
We've seen Booneville go to that counter now 3 times. Twice it's gone for big plays. The other is where they made the one play where he spun and went to a knee to a ground, but the one player doesn't make the tackle in the hole. It's a big gainer as well. So Prescott's going to have to figure out that counter where they're pulling the backside guard and tackle, and it's those 2 lead blockers and Goff, and that's something safeties and corners don't want to see. It's all that beef coming at them.
Was Goff touched?
I don't think that he was, to be honest.
What a call.
73 yards.
Well, then the execution. If, in fact, he was not touched, that's great blocking.
For those who've never played offensive line, to block someone in front of you is tough, but to pull the other side of the line of scrimmage, find somebody to get a hat on and be athletic enough to get in the way, that's really impressive by that front for Booneville.
Big kick. Prescott will field it right around the 2-yard line. Curly Wolves trying to get to the outside. Down around the 25-yard line.
We'll see if Prescott wants to stick with more of the Wildcat look, go back to the traditional offense. Of course, you know, Booneville's been talking for the last few minutes about how to slow that down. To me, though, I'm just like what Booneville's doing with their attack, Wes. If I'm Prescott, I roll out there in that Wildcat again and say, hey, we're going to run this until you show you can stop it.
Didn't stop it on the last drive. Jalen Johnson gets the ball across the 25. Prescott trailing by 10.
And back to Yates at quarterback.
Harris to his left. Brings receiver motion. He's going to give it to that receiver. Can't get outside. I'll tell you what. Booneville's corner did a great job.
Washburn does a nice job of coming up, and, well, guess who? 30. Poole cleans it up to drop him for a loss of 1. Washburn makes the play. Poole's going to get credit with the big hit.
They'll give it a loss. Tackle for a loss. 2nd and 11. Quick pass out. Wide receiver screens, got one blocker. Gets that block, gets the first down. Good play for Prescott. Receiver said he was never down. He thought he rolled over the defender. He was trying to take off down the field. Dwayne White picks up the first down.
And we're starting to see Prescott really attack the edges, trying to get the ball to the outside where you've got numbers, trying to take advantage of it. Goff did a nice job getting out there to shut that down, but it's after 11 yards and a first down.
Pitch it to Harris. Harris coming near side. Harris chased down, couldn't quite get to the corner. That's Hunter Wilson or Hunter Warren chased him down and kept that from being a really big play.
It's all of it's way outside the tackles. Speed sweep, toss sweep, whatever it can to get the ball to the outside in a hurry.
Almost got to the edge. But he still picked up 4 yards.
Now you see Booneville walk a corner out to the 2 receiver side and try to limit that screen game.
Quarterback keeper. stumbling. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Yates picked up one.
Goff did a nice job splitting the double team there. Just dives at the quarterback's ankles, gets just enough of Yates to trip him up. But that's what happens when you're Booneville. You move an extra defender outside of the box. That opens up things in the run game. The cat and mouse game is in full effect right now.
Big third down, 3rd and 5. They need to get to their own 49.
One-on-one, man-to-man on the bottom of your screen.
No snap. Everybody moved, but the snap didn't happen.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That hurts. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. That's going to move it right back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. Well, Prescott has dialed up here. Yates looking over. That's not Yates.
Yeah.
Look at the Wildcat look again with Prater.
Yep, another pre-snap penalty.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Going backwards.
Yep. That's what you can't have. I mean, we saw Booneville really kind of have some self-inflicted wounds in that first half. And now back-to-back plays here for Prescott. It's going to put them way behind the chains. They were sticking with that Wildcat formation there. You kind of see at the snap, that was going to be a straight drop back.
Yeah, looked like Prater was looking to throw that time. They're going to put in a quarterback this time.
Go straight 5 wide here.
He didn't have a quarterback for a second. Now a flag. That's a delay of game.
3 consecutive pre-snap penalties.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
If they were playing Madden, they'd disconnect you for flagging.
They were all kinds of confusion. Yates was lined up like he was going to be in the slot, and then all of a sudden, they didn't have a quarterback in there, and then Yates went to the quarterback spot. And that's when the flag came.
Yeah, 3rd and 20 now.
It's just 3rd and 5.
Right.
Yates looking to throw. Quick throw to the receiver. It's a wide receiver screen. Booneville does a good job of bending but not breaking. They knew where the sticks were. They pick up 15.
And all that penalty yardage right back, but now it's going to be 4th and 5 and potentially decision time if you're Prescott.
I think it is decision time. I think they're going to go. It's 4th and they're going to say 4. They marked him all the way to the 45. They got to get to the 49.
Light box for Booneville, only 4 inside the tackles.
Got a flag or a stop. They're stop and play.
Another false start.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Pre-snap movement there for Booneville. Got the Prescott guys to flinch. We saw a bunch of that in the Bentonville-Fayetteville game last week. A lot of movement pre-snap was really causing Fayetteville some issues. Booneville does it there, and now what would have been a 4th down attempt likely turns into now a punt for Prescott.
They're bringing in, looks like the special teams unit. Jalen Johnson is going to drop back to punt, or at least looks like it's going to punt.
Takes the gloves off to handle the football here.
Booneville's not convinced.
That's going to be another delay of game.
Jeez, Bobby. How many is this? Is that 5?
That's 5 penalties in the last 6 snaps. So I guess we're the last 1 snap.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
How many penalties did Prescott have before?
0.
None?
Prescott had 0 penalties in the first half.
This is one of those they'll look back and just
had 1 for 5.
Self-destructed on this drive. There's a snap, a little low, but Johnson gets it, kicks it away. Low line drive, needs a bounce, gets a decent bounce, rolls to about the 33-yard line. So a promising drive. Looked like they were getting close to midfield and just apart.
It's when you think you got everything rolling for you. Of course, you give it the one play, the big play to Booneville. You think you're right back in this contest, but that drive just kills any momentum that you've got, mentally, emotionally, physically, all of it.
Yeah, you go back about 15 minutes ago, and it's 3rd and 16 for Booneville, and that Prescott side is all jacked up. They're excited. Dax Goff just busts one. Then your offense gets back out on the field and self-destructs.
Yeah, quickly Booneville goes back to that counter play as well. That's why it's so effective. You don't break it out that often. Hubble mishandled the snap, but
got it right back. Yeah, Washburn's got it. Nice bounce, a good bounce for Booneville. It could have been disastrous. They've already had one fumble that resulted in a scoop and score for Prescott in the first half. Second and 8. He was able to fall forward for about 2 yards. Booneville being very patient. 10 seconds on the play clock. Goff pointing at the play clock. Goff's got it right up the middle. Goff will pick up about 3. Let's go down the sidelines, check in with Tyler.
Yeah, guys, the Prescott defense a little banged up now. You guys saw linebacker Tayshawn Smith leave the game in the first half. He spent the first half trying to stretch things out on the sideline, getting taped up. Came out at halftime with his pads off and in street shoes. So this Prescott defense now is going to try to play the second half without 2 starters from before the game.
Significant loss. Tayshawn Smith second on the team in tackles from his linebacker spot. 3rd and 5. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Washburn yelling out the instructions, telling Goff what he wants. That's Ray. That's Goff with it over the right side. Goff got the first down and more. Across midfield. Goff trying to stay in bounds. He does. Goff to the 30. Inside the 30. Falls to the 26-yard line. First down, Booneville.
Can't just throw a shoulder at 34 purple. You've got to get arms around him and do whatever you can to get him to the ground, because just throwing a shoulder, throwing a hand out there is not going to get the job done. You don't wrap up. You give up 10, 15 extra yards in yardage after contact. And Goff now over 200 yards in the contest.
You read my mind. I was about to ask you, once they update it with that play on their stats, how many yards does he have?
220. 23 carries.
Ray with it over that left side, fighting forward, breaks a tackle, gets to the 25. They had him stopped at the line of scrimmage. He just kept fighting, made a little something out of nothing.
Honestly, Wes, really since that first drive of the game that Booneville put together and put it in the end zone, they've done a pretty good job on the fullback. They've done a great job slowing down Rylan Ray. 18 carries, 84 yards, averaging 5 per carry. As we go to the 4th quarter, Booneville's got Dax Goff going. They can feel it.
They're a score away from trying to put this away. Stick around. 4th quarter action coming up. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
It looks like we have some new help in the marketing department.
Action! Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. I think you need to work on your line better. How about you do it? Family owned, customer friendly. Family owned, no friendly. Come see us at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at Alcoa exit. Buckle up, everybody!
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
We are all set for the 4th quarter of this 3A state championship game. Prescott, Booneville with a 10-point lead, but they're looking for more. Dax Goff has been the story today. Spinning, running, 31 yards. That was the first of 3 touchdowns for number 34. That made it 6-0. Hey, Booneville's defense has played well too. With the interception there, they've held Prescott out of the end zone except for one time. Scored on a scoop and score. Can't forget that. had Goff with his second touchdown. That one 13 yards. That made it 12-0. Prescott gets on the scoreboard right there. Fumble, ball comes loose. Gleason picks it up. The freshman goes 51 yards for the score. It was 12-7. Prescott gets into the end zone in the third quarter, makes it 15-8. Dakari Prater with that short run, but Dax Goff, 73 yards, makes it 25-15. Dax Goff, 220 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. I don't think they even have to vote for the MVP right now.
No doubt.
2nd and 9 as we start the fourth quarter. Goff right behind the quarterback. Goff right up the middle. Goff across the 20 into the red zone, down to the 10. Goff 15 more yards.
They're just going to continue to lean on who a lot of people call the best player ever to wear a Booneville uniform. And he's certainly trying to cement that legacy for the state championship, and he's leaving it all out there. The only mistake he's made, of course, the fumble that led to a Prescott defensive score, but he's doing it on offense. He's all over the field on defense. 34 in purple is going to be a really, really good Saturday player. It's a lot of fun to watch here in high school as well.
He will play for Harding University next year. Harding has punched their ticket. They beat Lenore Ryan 55-14. Goff right up the middle. Not much there this time. He picks up a yard. Thanks to Eric Taylor, Arkansas Democrat Gazette beat reporter. He tweeted out the final and said, Bison's become the first team from Arkansas to clinch a berth in the D2 football title game.
I knew it hadn't happened often. UCA, back in my heyday, made it to the quarterfinals, lost to North Alabama in overtime. It was 2005, I believe, 5 or 6.
2nd and goal from the 9.
Showing how old I am, Wes.
That's how we're all getting up there. Ray in the backfield this time. That's Goff in motion. Goff with it over the right side. Goff tackled. He'll be brought down at the 7, give him 2.
Remember, the most important thing for Prescott here is, one, to get a stop and do it quickly, because Booneville's going to work this entire 40-second play clock down. You're looking at inside 10 minutes by the next time they snap the football. We're close to it. Are you going to get enough possessions to fall down 3 scores? And that's why this next 2 plays is going to be so big for this Prescott defense.
3rd and goal from the 7. Yeah, using that play clock. No hurry. I think they may take a timeout. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to use every second. Got Crowley's over there talking to him. He motions for the timeout. 10:05 left. 3rd and 7. 3rd and goal from the 7.
Conway Regional Health System is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrate Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS sports. Since 1921, Conway Regional Health System has provided complete health care services to the growing communities of North Central Arkansas. For more info, just visit conwayregional.org.
Seems kind of fitting to pass along this note. Goff going to Harding next year. Harding just set the single season rushing record with 5,564 yards. It's amazing. 5,000 rushing yards, more than 5,500 in the season. Goff will fit in just fine there at Harding University.
And they're not going to skip a beat, and they don't have to teach him the scheme either. He's going to know this is essentially the same offense that Harding runs. And clearly, people think, oh, you got to do it with the spread, you got to do it with all kinds of gadgets and gimmicks. You can still win football games running north and south.
But it's tough to defend when you don't see it often.
That's a very good point. You go all year, you go spread. It's all about 7-on-7 and stopping the spread in the summer. And all of a sudden you get guys who want to hit you in the mouth over and over and over again. It takes a different team to want to be able to stop that and to be able to stop it.
By the way, that Lenore Ryan defense was one of the best in the country. Harding just dominated you there. 3rd and goal. Ball at the 7. Booneville trying to punch it in. That's Goff in motion. Looking to pass. Throw it out in the flat. Oh, and it's incomplete. That's a first attempt today for Booneville.
They tried to catch the Prescott defense napping, but a great job by 14 Gleason. He's been maybe the player of the day for that Prescott defense. He goes man-to-man, doesn't bite on the play action, and now it's 4th and goal.
A little fade route into the end zone and couldn't connect.
Counterplay. Be ready for it if you're Prescott. Booneville's hit a couple big plays on it so far today.
Ray's going to line up right behind the quarterback. 34, Goff is at the end of the line of scrimmage on your bottom of the screen. We'll throw it again. Incomplete. So Booneville goes to the air consecutive times. They hadn't thrown a pass all day. Third and goal from the 7. They throw it twice.
That's a big stop for the Prescott defense. That keeps their championship hopes alive. They couldn't afford to fall down 3 scores in this game, but now you're down 10. You've got to put together a drive here. Of course, you've got to go 93 yards. You still have chance. You still have life here in the 3A title game.
Well, and Prescott has a speed advantage.
No question.
So they could go 93 in one play. They need a chunk play. They're going to need something big. 9:58. They got 10 minutes left. They still have time. 2-score game.
They're going to go straight out of the Wildcat here. I'm going to start with Prater at quarterback.
Prater fakes it. He's going to come over to the near side. Prater's got room to run. There's a flag down. Afraid this one's coming back. Prater's going to take it. He's going to get tired running 97 yards, but that was, I'm pretty sure, a hold. Yeah, they're already yelling, tell him to come back.
That flag came out early before he even turned the corner. And that's demoralizing if you're Prescott. You hit the nail on the head, Wes. You said they can go 90 in one snap, and they do, but that flag came out really early. It's obvious in the eyes of the officials.
Yeah, and it was over here on the right side, the near side of your screen, and came out early. Prater's still down the other end zone. That's Prater. He's just walking to his sideline after running 97 yards. Really, probably ran over 100.
This is a goal. First down. Dead ball. Sideline interference. Home offense. Half distance to the goal. First down.
Yeah, that would push it back. What a change of momentum.
Yeah.
Scoring a touchdown, and Prater still hasn't gotten out of the end zone. Slowly walking to his sideline. Now the ball's on the 2. Yates in his own end zone, looking to throw. Nothing there, so he tucks it, gets out of the end zone. He'll lose a yard. They're marking down at the 1. They were trying to go to that quick screen to the wide receiver, but it was covered up. And if he throws it, it may have been a walk-in touchdown for Boone.
That's a great job by the quarterback, Yates, to recognize that 1 and not automatically just throw the football, because you're right. That would have been an interception in his own end zone.
Yates has Harris to his right. Looked like Booneville was coming in on a blitz. Yeah, they saw it, so they moved Harris over to protect that blitz side. Now they just give it to Harris right up the middle. Breaks 1 tackle, gets out to the 6, so he gets 5 yards. Close to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd and about 11.
Hunter Warren got just enough of Harris there. It looked like he might have been able to run through that tackle, but Harris in the bright orange or green, yellow gloves that he's wearing, able to get just enough of him to allow the rest of his defense to rally over.
If he doesn't make that tackle, and that one might have gone to the house. Yates in shotgun. Harris, Yates looking over at the sideline for the play. Got 8 seconds on the play clock. Still time. Now 3. They get it off. Yates looking to throw. Deep out route. He has the receiver there just over his. I think the receiver misjudged the ball in the air. Jalen Johnson was open, and he kind of slowed down, and the ball floated on him. Once again, throwing with the wind, and I think that affected that pass a little bit.
It did. You could see Yates before the snap as we see the replay here just down off the hands. That was going to be another screen to the near side, and Booneville was stacked on the line of scrimmage. Yates, the quarterback, recognized it. He was even asking the sideline if he wanted to call timeout. They had to go to something else. The receivers on the near side didn't even run a route. They just kind of stood up as soon as the ball was snapped.
You see how much the wind's blowing. Johnson threw his gloves down, and instead of going straight down, they flew forward about 10, 15 yards. Good punt, good bounce, riding that wind. Rolls all the way inside the 40. Still rolling to about the 36-yard line. That's the kind of punt that Prescott needed. Now they need to stop on defense.
Still moving.
Wind's blowing it. Now they'll blow it dead at the 35. Where did they punt that from? The 6, so 44 and 15, 59-yard punt.
They needed that. They needed to flip field position.
We'll take a break. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The commitment it takes to be a winner on the field is the same as the commitment Centennial shows its customers. Patience, perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success. both on and off the field. Whether you're cheering on your home team or needing encouragement starting a new business, let Centennial Bank help you make plans for your future. Centennial, for all of life's moments. Member FDIC.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, through their 17 electric distribution cooperatives throughout the state, is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrate Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS Sports. For more info, visit aecc.com.
Bobby Swafford, Westmore, huge drive here for Booneville. You know, they go down and score here. That probably does it. Prescott needing a stop. It's a handoff over the right side, stood up. Good job by the Prescott defense, defensive line. Not a whole lot there. We'll give him 2. Goff just bottled up for one of the few times today. I saw Rafter there in his defensive end spot.
338 yards rushing now for this Booneville offense.
2nd and 8. You see Booneville. They know they got a 10-point lead. The ball, there's no need to hurry. Play clock's at 10. Chew up some time, try to chew up some yards and finish this thing off. Give it to Goff again. Goff met. One of the few times he's been tackled for no gain.
And a great play by KJ Page, the sophomore linebacker. Meets Goff in the hole, and now it's 3rd and 8 for Booneville. Exactly what you need to do if you're Prescott.
Prescott has to get the ball back here. They need to force the punt, get their offense back on the field. They had a big play, a touchdown wiped off due to a holding call. They need to get that ball back to their offense. They'll stack the running backs this time, Ray and Goff. And pitch it, flag down. They have movement. That'll back Booneville up. Bobby, do not say.
False start. Offense.
Can't do it.
Penalty.
Do not say
3rd down.
It's tough for Booneville to overcome 3rd and 13. They've done it twice already with Goff. That was going to be a pitch outside.
I haven't seen Booneville try to attack the edges much. They're more north and south. Sometimes you got to try to catch the defense off base.
Goff's lining up in that H-back tight end spot. That's your counter play right here, isn't it?
I believe it. Back's going to be on the left side of the formation.
Right at the bottom of your screen.
Counter, here it is.
That's Goff. They're ready for it this time. Yeah, that's the thing. If I'm smart enough to think they're going to do it, I know the Prescott coaches are smart enough. They're smarter than me.
That's a big stop. It all started with the punt, the 59-yard punt that you alluded to before the break. Prescott flips the field position. Now they're going to get the ball back with about 5.5 left. Down 2 scores, but it's something that can be accomplished. They can do it. They just got to go out there and execute it now.
Keep in mind, Booneville's punting into the wind, so Prater will not have to drop far. Prater very explosive. We've already seen that. Good snap. Punt. It's high. Prater's going to let it bounce. They punted it away from him. So Prescott's going to take over at their own 39. Much better field position. So you saw the effects of the wind right there. One with the wind, 59 yards. That one into the wind and not much there. So they were punting from what, their own 3, I believe. And now they'll have it at the 40. 35 plus yards of field position off of those punts, but some valuable seconds clicked off the clock.
Be 4 down territory, you got to believe, from here out.
Oh, no doubt. You have to score here if you're Prescott. Have to watch the quarterback spot, see who's in there for Prescott. Yates is in right now, but he calls Prater in next to him. He's going to give it to Prater. It's a reverse. No, they fake the reverse. Prater keeps it. He's thrown down for a loss. Ball was down. That's not a fumble, but they're going to lose 6 yards on that.
It's almost like they were trying to bring Prater to the right, get the defense flowing to their left, and then go back the other way. Maybe a quarterback throwback. Yates was out there with another lead blocker, but it's nowhere to go. Great job by Booneville to recognize, hey, if Prater's in the backfield more times than not, he's going to get the football.
Prater's still in there. He's lined up in the slot. Yates brings receiver motion. That's Gully. Gully with it. Going over the left side. Could not get the blocks he needed, but he broke the tackle. Still going across midfield. Still going. Across the 40, down to the 39-yard line. Gain of 27.
Colton Fisher might have saved a touchdown after 2 broken tackles for the Prescott offense, and that's a big play they needed. They need to pick up big yards. You get these chunk plays. They need to score in a hurry.
2 broken tackles. 2 broken tackles. Big play. Noah Harris in the backfield. It's Harris with it, coming to the right side. Gets a block. Harris rumbling down close to the 30. He'll get 8 on first down.
Yeah, Harris hasn't gotten as many touches as we probably would have expected, Wes. Just his 11th carry of this contest, got 83 yards now. And a stoppage of a, that's Prater, who's down on the field for Prescott.
He may be cramping up. You think about it, as much running as he's been doing in them, the big 90-something yard touchdown that was called back. He was clearly winded after that play and very disappointed. Yeah, it's a cramp. They're stretching out his right calf. As we said earlier, it's a very nice December day at War Memorial Stadium. 65 degrees right now. How about that? 65 December day. We thought last weekend was great for a December 2nd day. Well, this is December 9th and it's 65 degrees, and I am not complaining.
You can get live action photos from this game. Just go to myarpbs.org/photos. We can grab some downloads, have prints made. Great championship keepsake. Got to give a shout out to Okai Caddy, who's working hard down there for us. Some great action shots. All the games last week already up online as well.
He's trying to lead his wide receiver, but he let him too much. It was a wide receiver screen. Had a couple of blockers. Just let him too much. Sidearm throw. Got a little lucky that Booneville didn't have anybody right there to catch that deflection.
They've really struggled to get the pass game going. You think for an offense that's thrown for 2,500 yards on the season, you got to give a lot of credit to that Booneville defense.
They run it, try to pick up the first down. They do. Move the ball to the 28, so that'll move the chains. You want to score, but first things first, you got to move the chains. You got to get that first down.
Clock continues to move. We're creeping up on the 4-minute mark.
Mark it at the 28-yard line. Prescott needs to pick up the pace a little bit. They're still trying to get the play in. We're at 4 minutes to go. Down 10. Must score here for Prescott. Yates motioning to his receiver. He wants Gully further outside. Because he's going to throw it, fake it to Gully. Now he's going to go deep to Gully. Gully looked like he was held, but it's going to be picked off inside the 5. There's a flag down.
That's going to be illegal contact or interference. Honestly, the Booneville safety saw that one and recognized it perfectly, but just too much contact there at the line of scrimmage, and I think they're going to get Booneville with the call on the receiver.
Well, they faked the old wide receiver screen that they've ran so many times, and then Gully just took off running downfield. When he did, the defensive back grabbed him and held him.
Holding. Defense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's a good call. That's obvious.
Yeah, we saw it up here. I know the official on the sideline saw it. And he's on the Prescott side, so they were encouraging him and pointing it out for him just in case he didn't see it. First and 10 from the 18. It's Prater with it. Prater up the middle, nothing this time. Picks up 2.
Back to the penalty. That's sometimes when you scout so much and you play perfectly, it plays against you because you're right there to make a play, and then all of a sudden it's a scramble drill and the receiver runs right into you, but it's your fault.
Prater lost his helmet on that play, so he'll have to come out. Boy, that was a big hit. That hit just popped that helmet right off.
58.
Addo Barr. Clock ticking. Yates going to hand it off to Harris. Harris to the right side. We got a flag down. Harris is fighting forward. We got a flag behind the play.
It's in the vicinity of where holding is usually called.
Prescott cannot afford. Now Prescott's pointing the other way.
Some hands got up to the face maybe on the Booneville defense.
Prescott was celebrating and pointing the other way towards Booneville. Look at Prescott. They're already lining up. They know they have to hurry now. They've got their play. We're just waiting on the officials to, they're still talking about it, and mark this off so they'll be ready to go when they start the clock.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, half distance to the goal, second down.
So 2 big penalties against Booneville on this drive. Assisting Prescott as they march towards a touchdown that will make it a 1-possession game. Yates in there. He's got Harris to his left. It'll be Harris with it. Harris behind his big offensive line, bounces it out right. Harris to the end zone, touchdown Prescott. Just what they needed.
Great job of being patient by Harris. Things were kind of mucked up in the middle, and he just gave that little bit of hesitation right there that allowed the Booneville defense to collapse. He bounces it outside, waltzes into the end zone, and a much-needed score for the Curly Wolves.
Suck everybody inside. Thinking, I'm going to just stay here behind these big offensive linemen. Everybody goes there. Then he just bounces it outside, rolls in for the score. Extra point to make it a 3-point game. Up, and it is good. 25-22. That kicker may have another kick that could be very important coming up. If they can get close enough to give him a chance, that field goal, or an extra point, from the 3 had another 10 yards, I'd say, 15 yards. It's probably good from. Maybe they can get to about the 15, Bobby.
Get the football back first.
Yep, they got to get a stop.
If you're Booneville, you're paying attention for the onside kick. All 3 timeouts left, though, for Prescott defensively, so they can use them on that side if they need to.
I think they do that. You think they go the onside kick here?
They tried it earlier. It didn't go 10 yards. It just depends on how much faith you have in your defense. The way they've played really a lot of this second half, I'd say, okay, I'm trusting my defense to get me a stop.
Defensively, much better the second half. Goff, of course, had that big 73-yard run. Besides that, it's been a very good effort. I think they're kicking it deep the way they're lining up and looking. Of course, you got to deal with Goff.
Onside.
Onside. Booneville recovers.
Who else recovered by Dax Goff?
I wouldn't have kicked it to him anywhere near him.
Yep. Join us at the Little Rock Zoo for our 3rd annual Glow Wild and our theme, Once in a Lifetime. Running now through January 7th from 5 to 9 p.m. each night. This year with 3 themed areas and over 40 new lanterns. For more info for public and zoo members, just visit the Little Rock Zoo website.
3:14 to go. All 3 timeouts for Prescott. Got to get a stop. Goff just looked up. He's looking at the scoreboard.
2 first downs likely puts this one away for Booneville. Gonna stop the fullback though if you're Prescott. It's going to start there.
That's where Goff is. That's Goff right up the middle, cross midfield, fighting for every yard he can get. He picked up 4.
It's the beauty of the 4-yard gain against a team like Booneville. You think you both won. Booneville won. They got the 4 yards that they want. The defense, you held them out of a big play. Now the Bearcats going to let this one run all the way down. Not going to get in any hurry. And now if you're Prescott, you're thinking about those timeouts. You've got all 3 in your pocket.
I'm sure picking up 4 on first down didn't make them feel too confident about using one of those timeouts.
And Booneville's going to take a timeout early here. There's 12 on the play clock when Coach Doc Crowley called timeout.
Booneville.
I'm surprised he didn't just wait until second left.
Maybe he wanted to get that in before the guys snapped the football on the field. Either way, I want to talk things over.
He may have not been able to get Washburn's attention, and exactly what you said. He may have been worried he was going to snap it. I don't think Washburn would snap it with 8-9 seconds left. He's watching that play clock. He knows exactly where it is here at War Memorial Stadium. He's done a great job of using all of that play clock.
This has been a classic. You want to order a copy of it and watch it over and again, just go to mmproductions.net and place your order.
That's all you could ask for. You know, 1-score game. 2:20, 2:38 to go. Similar to the Fayetteville-Bentonville game. Came down to the last 50 seconds. Fayetteville gets the big stop down inside the red zone.
We've had some really good games. Last weekend, 3 of the 5 were really tightly contested. 6A and 5A games might have got a little bit out of hand late.
Greenwood very impressive. And argue to me, that's been the most impressive team I've seen. They were loaded. I mean, they were big, strong, and then they got the speed, the athletes, good quarterback that's headed to UCA.
I think tonight's going to be a good one, too. Rivercrest defense going to be fun to watch, but I won't talk about that one too much. Make people mad on Twitter.
2nd and 6. Here we go.
Counter play.
Nothing there. Prescott with the big stop.
Again, crashing down that defensive ends. We've called his name a ton of times today. Marshawn Rafter. He recognized it, closed with the pulling guard and tackle, and makes the play just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Came from behind. He kind of pulled with them. When you get one of those speedy defensive ends and you pull right in front of him, he just is right there to make the tackle, really in the backfield. No gain.
A little surprised Prescott didn't take a timeout there. Now we're going to be inside 2 minutes when this one snapped.
They just want that ball back. 3rd and 6. Handoff right up. Oh, they pitch it to the outside. Coming to the outside, breaks a tackle close. This is close, all about the spot.
Yep. It's going to be right at the sticks, and they're going to call first down. What a huge play. You don't run the option but one time prior to this, and you pull it out. Perfectly timed pitch. They get just enough for the chains, and now Prescott's going to have to use these timeouts on defense.
Big broken tackle right there. Could have tackled him short of the first down, but he breaks it and then just falls forward. See right there, that second effort. I wonder if they look at this, see exactly where that ball was, where that knee hit the ground. They're not. Didn't use the timeout. They'll have to use it after this play if they get a good stop. They bottle it up, ball forward, pick up about 4. There's the timeout.
Yeah, Prescott could have taken a timeout after that play and challenged the spot Prescott. Of the ball.
First timeout and a half.
Shows it was close enough. It was really close. And they marked it almost immediately that he was right at the marker, just beyond it, and they call first down. Of course, these coaches aren't used to dealing with TV review and the ability to challenge plays and might not have been comfortable with the situation. It's a moot point now as we move past it. And now all that matters is now the next 3 plays for this Booneville offense. Again, they get 6 yards to put this game away.
One more first down, and that'll do it. Prescott with 2 timeouts now.
Southern Loft is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports and Arkansas student athletes. They're located at 3155 North College Avenue there in Fayetteville. Southern Loft, a different kind of furniture store. For more info, visit mysouthernloft.com.
What's Goff up to? How many yards do you have now?
244 on 30 carries.
What a day.
Averaging 8 yards a tote.
I was just thinking if he busted one here, took it to the house, could he get over 300? But they're at the 38, so he wouldn't quite get there.
Let's put together a championship effort, there's no doubt.
No doubt. And then on defense, too. We've called his name several times. Goff's going to line up right behind the quarterback. Nope, that's right. Riley Ray. And him. He gets across the 35 to the 34. He picks up 4 more. Timeout, Prescott. It'll be 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2. You got to sell out. If you're Prescott, you've got 11 guys in the box on this next snap. You know they're not going to throw the football. More times than not, it's going to be right ahead. They pull out the option on to pick up the first down on the last series. You got to believe this is going to be line up either Ray or Goff at fullback, and this is going to be the smash mouth football. Stop us if you can.
Well, that's what they've done the last 2 plays, and they've picked up 4 yards. It's just been just straight ahead. We're coming at you. You can't stop us. And they've been able to pick up 4. Booneville fans yelling, "Go Cats, go!" That's kind of quiet right now on that sideline. They know this is it. Dire situation for them. Somehow they got to get 2 stops. They only have 2 yards to work with.
This is why you've got those 2-a-days. I guess they don't really have 2-a-days anymore. Why you lift all the weights in the summer. You run those extra sprints because sometimes the season comes down to 1 play and 2 yards. And that's what this 3A championship's coming down to.
I'm sure Booneville's preaching to everyone, do not jump.
That's right.
Have a dead ball penalty.
3-snap penalty. Maybe go hard count here too. If you trust your offensive line to hold their water, get Prescott to give you a free 5 yards and a first down.
Right up the middle. Got one. Did not get the first down. Booneville's coach is motioning first down, but they did not get it.
They tried to maybe go a little quicker there.
Prescott, last time out of the half.
You know, they didn't send the wing back in motion, the slot back. They try to catch Prescott off guard just a touch. Nice job by the defensive front for the Curly Wolves to stay home, make the play, and now your season comes down to 1 yard.
It is. It boils down to this. One more play for them. Can they get the first down? Can Prescott get the stop?
It's a full yard. Got to get beyond the 36, 37-yard line on the far yard. 32, excuse me. Trying to look at the sticks on the far side.
Booneville's got to get just across the 32.
Can't just get to the hash. They've got to get beyond it. We'll call this 1.5 yards.
1 in the foot. The crowd comes to their feet. Both sidelines. Huge play. 4th down. Season on the line. Booneville gets it. They're going to win a title. Prescott gets a stop. They got a chance.
Bearcats have a timeout, so if they don't like the look pre-snap, they can take their last one. You're seeing the goal line defense for Prescott. Nose guard, guys in the A-gap. Goff's in at fullback.
Goff just tightened up that chin strap.
You saw the old Booneville bump earlier. The old famous Eagles tush push. Tried that from the 1 for a touchdown. Maybe they break it out again.
Loaded up the middle right now. I think they're thinking about that. Here we go. Goff hit.
Close.
It is so close. It'll depend on the spot. What a crucial spot.
I don't think he got it. Based on where the near official is, I don't think he got there.
Prescott celebrating. They feel like they stopped him. We got a couple of Booneville players down, struggling to get up. They're going to call an injury timeout. Here's a look at the replay. Over the right side, guess who it was? Yeah. Rafter again.
Great job of collapsing down from his in position. Rafter, he just beats the tackle off the ball, gets inside, and makes the play. And now the Curly Wolves, with no timeouts and 73 seconds left, have a chance.
Wow. What a stop from this Prescott defense. We said they'd only given up 11.2 points per game. They bowed up when they had to. They get the stop. Their offense has a chance. They got to go 67 yards. Minute 13, I think that's not an issue. I think they'll be fine. This big play capability for Prescott, they don't want a field goal. They don't want overtime. They want a touchdown and win this.
We're going to bring out the change just to double check this. We think they had to get beyond the 32, and it's shy of the 32. Oh, wow. Did not see that. The eagle eye was off. And you can see the Prescott coaching staff is all the way out on the field arguing it.
Stunned, Bobby. I'm stunned.
There's no way to look at it.
Tyler Cass is down on the field. I bet you had a pretty good look. What'd you see?
Yeah, guys, I set myself up before the play right on the line there, and from my eyes, he looked down before that hash mark where they put the initial spot. It looked like it was going to be short, but the chains there, it was halfway up the football. Coach Glass is out here pointing at that hash saying the chains originally said he had to get to 32. He didn't get there. The ball is behind that 32-yard line, but they're giving him the first down.
We'll see if this is going to issue a booth review as well. Line to gain is something that's challengeable. It is automatically going to be reviewed by the booth. That's a huge momentum swing. Just based on where the ball was and the chains, I didn't think they got far enough, but obviously they trot them out at a different angle than we did. Booneville gets the break.
And that was the thing that threw us off. It was the far sideline where the chains were. It was hard to see. From our point of view, he had to get inside the 32, but once they came out and marked it, you didn't have to get inside the 32. Yeah. Right? And, I mean, they're at the 32 and a half.
The Prescott coaching staff is livid.
And that's where they're upset, is what we saw too. They thought they had to get inside the 32 from where the markers were on that far sideline. And then when it came out and they measured,
so Booneville,
hard to see.
Yeah. Booneville can take a pair of knees. Don't even have to hand it off. Just securing the snap is going to be so important. Got to get the defense is back out on the field. Not sure what we're waiting on.
Well, they haven't started the play clock yet. Just now they got the defense coming out.
You got to control your emotions too if you're a player. I know it's heartbreaking at this point. You can see the coaches still going at it with the officiating crew. You got to keep your emotions. Heartbreaking.
Play clock has started. Take the knee. I have to do that a couple more times. One of the big unsung heroes for Booneville has to come off. He lost his helmet.
Pay attention to that. That's the center for Booneville that just had to come off. Lost his helmet. Waits inside of 40 seconds here if you're the Bearcats. One more knee that's going to do it.
Washburn knows he's talking with the official, just waiting. Now it's under 40. He'll go take that snap. Gets it, takes the knee, and that will do it. Booneville wins the 3A state title. What a finish, what a game. 25-22. The center was the first one off the sideline to celebrate. I'm sure he's a little disappointed he wasn't the one snapping it, but he doesn't care now because they have the title. Just a great finish, down to a couple of inches.
That's right.
Game of inches, and sure enough, that's what it turned out to be today.
Locks finally hit 0, and the Bearcats just grounded it out, did not complete a pass, but 359 yards. And that last yard was all that mattered as they were able to steal a championship.
Last year, Booneville came up short in the state championship game. Today, they are celebrating. Stick around. We'll hear from the winning coach and the MVP. Backstop. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
People would come from miles around to come to 9th Street just to see what it was like.
I'm saying this was the mecca of entertainment in the South.
I'm gonna blow the roof off of this sucker. Oh, yeah.
We thought we was on top of the world. Yeah.
Download the PBS video app or watch online.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing a healthcare partner rooted in your community. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Let our family care for yours.
Vaping addicts you to nicotine and can prematurely age your lungs to those of a 70-year-old. Don't get lost in the fog. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org. Give your family a once-in-a-lifetime experience at the Little Rock Zoo, at Arkansas's largest lantern festival. Glow wild at the Little Rock Zoo. After dark, bring your family to a radiant wonderland where imagination sparks. Discover 40 new lighted mystical creatures and returning favorites at Glow Wild, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Southern Loft is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS. It is our mission to tell your story by adding color with our furniture. And that's why Southern Loft is a different kind of furniture store. For more information, go to mysouthernloft.com.
Do you have any idea what the book is worth?
Danielle Musselman here, host of Arkansas Treasures, where we share the wacky, weird, and wild collectibles and antiques from around our state and find out what they're worth.
So that adds up to a little bit of money.
Wow. Watch on Arkansas PBS, the PBS app, or on the Arkansas PBS website.
I said I was not going to say wow, but I did anyway.
A real-life mystery in Mulberry Springs.
Who is Sammy the Sloth?
My science teacher is a robot.
You've got to be kidding me. Troublemakers from another planet.
From another planet?
We're on the case.
Thank you, Mystery League, for solving this mystery.
During the past year, we've been traversing the natural state with our cinematic drone, from lakes and rivers, waterfalls, scenic byways, mountains, swamps, overlooks, and towering rock formations. This unique documentation of all 4 seasons from all 4 corners of the state with an aerial cinematic perspective will give you, the viewer, an Arkansas adventure like never before, exploring Arkansas from above.
Download the PBS video app or watch online.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
Back at War Memorial Stadium, where Booneville is celebrating a state championship. Westmore, Bobby Swafford. Booneville rushes for 359 yards. They threw it for 0. 0 for 2.
Yeah. 1 yard. It's hard to believe it. It's 1 yard decides a state championship, but it came down to the final play, and the chains, I guess they never lie, they gave it to them.
Yeah, it came down probably to about 3 or 4 inches.
Right.
Instead of a full yard. There's a look at your final stats. Total yards goes to Booneville. Of course, the rushing yards to Booneville. Offensively, they did a very good job. And defensively, you think about it, Prescott scored a touchdown on the scoop and score, so they held Prescott to, about 2 touchdowns, 14 points. Just a complete total team effort for Booneville. 25-22, dominating time of possession, as you would expect. So kind of fittingly, or a little irony, coincidence, the day that Harding University just dominates up at Searcy by running this offense and running the ball. That's what Booneville does here at War Memorial Stadium, running the ball and dominating the game in time of possession. There they are, celebrating, holding that trophy high above their heads. What a complete 180 from last year. Booneville was the Prescott walking off the field, just feeling dejected, and 1 year later, they're at midfield celebrating.
Crowley said it in the press conference earlier this week that they thought they embarrassed their community last year in the championship game. Of course they didn't. Get to a championship game, that's nothing to be disappointed with. That's not the goal. That's not the standard when you're in Booneville. You expect to win a state championship, and they got a championship effort from their MVP today, Dax Goff. And also their defense, as you mentioned, to hold Prescott to just 220 yards speaks for itself.
There's the interception in the first quarter that stopped a Prescott drive, but this guy will be named your MVP here in a few minutes. Dax Goff, 13-yard touchdown run. That made it 12-0 in the first quarter. Prescott finally got it going right there with the scoop and score. Gleason goes 51 yards, and it was 12-7. Booneville added a touchdown. At the end of the first half, on a quarterback sneak, Dax Goff and Ryland Ray set it up. Third quarter action, Kari Prater with the 14-yard touchdown, 4-yard touchdown run, made it 18-15. Big play here. Dax Goff, 73 yards, 2-possession game. Prescott scored a little bit later in the fourth quarter to make it 25-22, and then the big play was Booneville getting the first down by just a mere couple of inches, and then they're able to take a couple of knees, run out the clock, and win the state title. There's Rylan Ray holding up the trophy with one hand. He came up huge today. 95 yards on the ground for him. But of course, it was Dax Goff with 245 yards, 3 touchdowns. And by the way, he plays defense too and had 5 tackles.
Does it all. I mean, it's just a workhorse, and finishes his career with 2,700 yards on the ground, 43 touchdowns. Really impressive performance from Dax Goff.
Let's head down to the field, hear from the winning coach.
Yeah, Coach, a lot of emotions right now, a lot of hugs to do this for the team in front of the whole Booneville community. What does this mean?
Everything. Just emotional wreck. Community means so much, this football program, and the football program means a lot to the community, so it's just amazing to come out on top.
To send this senior class off as state champions, what have they meant to the program, and what does it mean to you?
Cried like a little baby. It means everything, man. These guys are, there's not many of them. There's only 10 of them, but they did an amazing job. I'm so proud of them.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
That's what it's all about right there. The emotion, what this game means. Let's go right back to Tyler. He's standing by with the MVP.
Yeah, guys, I'm here with Dax Goff. Finishes his career in the season as MVP in the state title game, and just to get to walk off a state champion, what does that mean to you?
I mean, all this hard work this team's put in, I'm crying. It's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling, dude. Amazing feeling.
Just seeing your teammates around you, all that purple up in the stands, what does this mean to Booneville?
I mean, this town does so much for us, and someone can give something back to them. It's amazing. I mean, that's just awesome. You can't get no better place than this.
All right, man, I'll let you go celebrate with your teammates. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tyler. I wonder if Dax knows that his future team won also.
Probably not yet, but he's all about Booneville right now. Just dominant efforts from the fronts. You got to give a lot of credit to Prescott. They battled into the absolute ends. Just couldn't get the job done, and Booneville, once again, a state champion.
That emotion, that's what high school football is all about right there. The tears that are flowing from Coach Crowley, from Dax Goff. We get to do it one more time. Coming up tonight, 6:30, the 4A state finals. Harding Academy back in the championship game. They've been rolling, but man, Rivercrest, what they've been able to do in the playoffs, knocking off Warren last Friday night. A week before, going to Arkadelphia and beating the Badgers. So impressive what Rivercrest has been able to do. This is going to be a fantastic game, a great way to wrap up the high school football season. Hope you can join us at 6:30. Bobby Swafford, Tyler Cass, I'm Wes Moore. Booneville, they are your 3A state champions. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.